Hello, friends and listeners of the internet. Welcome to the first and last, episode 3 of the Unoriginal Voice podcast. I'm your host, Dakota Janukowski. With me, as always, the Manic Hispanic, Joey Martinez.
Hello.
His beautiful succubus, Kate Martinez.
Hello.
And bringing up the rear, last but not least, the best butler since Alfred, Justin Butler.
Hi.
If you're listening to the show, you already know, but you can find the show in all places podcasting. So that's what Joey? Stitcher Radio.
Yeah, Stitcher's my favorite.
Yeah, Stitcher's Joey's favorite. We also have ShoutEngine.com, SoundCloud, and we might be on iTunes.
Working on
iTunes. iTunes is a possibility. If you don't want to go to any of those places, we understand. That's why we invested heavily into the unoriginalvoice.com. This is the Mos Eisley of unoriginal voice content. It is the hub. It is the central area.
The cantina.
The cantina.
Yeah, our lives are worth like quarters. You know, like when Han Solo just like shot the dude and he's like...
Who shot first? Han Solo.
Of course, but then he's on his way out and he's like, this will cover it. And he just like, tosses on the coin.
Exactly.
That's what life is worth in Mos Eisley cantina.
Exactly.
Just a coin.
Arms ain't worth shit, though.
No.
Nope.
Oh, no.
Arms are not worth
shit.
shit.
Goes down in Mos Eisley.
Yeah. If you like what you're listening to, like us on Facebook and Instagram, and follow us on Twitter at UVpodcast. Let's
I think what also needs to be said that we didn't cover in the first episode was like what our show is like about, like what we do. What we do is we have a set amount of bullet point topics. We all separately gather our own topics under that little bullet point, and we all present it, and none of us have heard what the other has brought to the podcast.
Exactly.
Precisely.
Precisely.
I would redo this because that was actually part of the original intro, but I don't feel like we're doing this entire intro.
Yeah, this is like the seventh take of the intro, so yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah, we're good.
We'll cut that in next week.
Yeah.
Seventh time's a charm.
Seventh time is a charm.
Exactly.
So the first segment is the Get to Know Your Podcaster segment. Joey, since you started last week, would you like to start again?
Sure, I will.
Let's get to know us.
Joey's very excited about this.
Yes, I am. So, something about me, and I'm going to go out on a limb that you guys probably like won't go with me with, but I don't like disappointment. I'm a weird person that way, that I don't like disappointment.
Is that weird?
Oh, it's weird. That's weird.
I feel like nobody likes disappointment.
So, on that topic, we had a Relay for Life fundraiser.
Oh,
Yeah.
Let's plug some stuff in.
Yeah. We had a Relay for Life fundraiser, which was a double feature event. And one of those movies was Clerks, which is one of my favorite movies ever made.
Brilliant movie.
And
shout out Kevin Smith.
I was really stoked for it because like I saw Clerks 2 when it came out in theaters. And it was like one of the best movie experiences I've ever had. Not that it was the best movie I ever saw, because I'm not even that big on Clerks 2.
Right.
You know, like I dig the movie in the way that like if it had been called anything other than Clerks 2, I'd actually like have dug it. Like if it was just like a random movie that continued like Dante and Randall's story,
right,
without it being a direct sequel to the first one. Like if it was just called like Movies.
Yeah.
And then you go to it and it's like, oh shit, this is what happens to Dante and Randall. But the fact that it was Clerks 2 made it weird for me. But I digress. The theater, it was awesome. Like every joke, everybody laughed together. You know, the weird pillow pants scene, like everybody was like just aghast at the same time. And like at the end of it, everybody stood up, had like a standing O for the movie. And like it was just the coolest theater experience.
Right.
So then when we get to this, nobody shows up except for Justin came. And I think you're the only person that was there that wasn't in some way affiliated to the fundraiser, like wasn't on the team.
He's on the team.
Oh yeah, he's on the team. Yeah, so
So
nobody
the only
outside
people
of the
that were
team.
there were people on the relay team.
And these like 4 blackout drunk losers that all look middle-aged, but were acting like middle school students the entire time they're there. There's a guy flipping off and cursing at the screen the entire halfway through Clerks and halfway through the other movie that we showed.
So drunk he couldn't sit upright.
Throwing bows in the air, it was nuts.
Yes, and arguing with no one at one point. Like he was pointing and arguing with a person that was not in front of this guy.
I swear they were doing more than drinking.
Yeah, like Kate turned to me at one point and goes like, "What do you think this guy's on?" And I was like, "Schizophrenia." Like there's no drug or like level of drunk I've ever been at that I was having an out loud argument with a movie and then the air.
At one point, he literally turned to nothing, pointed, and said, "Do you believe this shit? Don't say that."
Yeah.
I was like, what?
It's stunning.
Who was he talking to?
I was so livid at first, like
Yes.
all the way through Clerks. I was so pissed, but when the second movie, Tusk, which is phenomenal, started, I just kind of let it go because I was like, you know, I'll just take solace in knowing that my life's probably better than
Yeah, right. And so then at one point, one of the guys comes out of the bathroom, walks in front of the projector where they're showing the movie, and throws his arms up in like a rock and roll like devil horns, and like no one reacts because everybody's fed up with this dude. And it was like that's what like immediately made me think of like a middle school kind of hijinks.
Yeah.
But like nobody in the room had time for it.
I've not seen such behavior since the 8th grade.
Right. And so like his like wanting to seem awesome and nobody giving a shit reminded me of another thing that I did this week, where I went to my niece's art show, my young niece, and there was a local artist there that will go unnamed. No, it's Paul Brent. He was judging these like elementary school kids.
This is the guy you hate for painting seashells, right?
I can't. It's like he paints driftwood. He
A
paints
seagull standing on the shore.
or just the beach, like a sea dune in oil pastels, and I just like I can't deal with it. Like his stuff is like the crap that you see like before you die in the hospital, or like you're stabbed to death by a hooker in a hotel. That's where you'll see Paul Brent's artwork come up, and it's just like the most uninspired twaddle that you'll ever see.
I didn't know
and
there was a specific art community for like, oh yeah, we had a bunch of hooker stabbings in here.
that's
I need a nice beach
demographic.
scene.
That's
Lighten it up.
That's who sees his paintings. You know, like some people go to the Louvre to see a piece. You're dying in the hospital, and you will see his driftwood.
If you're a
oil
spring
pastel
breaker
painting.
being stabbed to death in your hotel, Paul Brent's work.
Yeah, so he's judging this art show. He says, wait until I say all of the winners from each school before you clap, rather than after each name. Right. So because it's already allotted to be like 2 hours for an elementary school art show, and so I guess it trims the time. So he goes through like 4 schools and then stops as if he's done, and just out of nowhere goes like, by the way, I'll be here after the show to take pictures with you.
In case your students want a photo with me by their artwork, I will be here after the show.
Like, it is so unbelievably pretentious, and that's a lot from 4 people that are just sitting around a table at a microphone recording a podcast.
I
Any
really
of us are interesting enough for you to listen to.
truly thought that he was going to say, I'll be signing autographs in the lobby.
Yeah, that's like on the level of how he said it. Like, he said it like he was doing you a favor.
Like, I will take a photo
Maybe
with your
later.
student by their artwork, as if I'm a celebrity.
Right. Like, it was just insane to me. So, that's what I've got for this topic.
So you just wanted to bash the dude?
Yeah,
Well,
that was mainly
well,
my
I mean,
goal.
to be
It
fair,
lets you
that'd
know
be-
who I am.
That'd be the equivalent of us going into a coffee house and someone bumping into us, being like, "Oh, you recognize me from the podcast?" 3 episodes.
Right, I have 40 Twitter followers. I'm a very big deal.
Would you like a photo for your Instagram?
Yes, I would.
I will take Instagram photos with anyone though. So.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
And blame it on Butler.
And blame it on Butler.
Alright. I want to go next really quick.
Okay.
So we're going to play...
That's what we do here. We're friends.
Yeah.
We let each other take turns.
We wait impatiently, as
So-
Dakota just did. He's been twitching, waiting for his turn. Dr. Athlete
We're going to
is
see how...
We're athlete.
We're going to see what our morals are, guys. We're going to play a
God.
few rounds of Would You Rather.
Oh, all right. I like this. I'm excited for this.
Are you?
Yeah.
here.
Alright, first of all, I need to go grab a couple of them because I was looking at them earlier.
Prepared.
No, I mean,
That's
I have,
also how we do it at this
I have right here.
podcast. Shoddy.
I started with a couple of my favorite ones. You guys ready for this one?
Okay.
Yes.
Would you rather help a starving child in Africa by giving him water and food for the rest of his life, or have the only functioning lightsaber to ever exist.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Is it just one African kid? I'm not.
Yeah, it's just one.
It's just one kid.
I feel like with the lightsaber, I'd be able to somehow feed all of the Africans.
Like you could bring order to the universe
Yes.
with your lightsaber.
Like when the United Nations drops food packages and the crazy like guys with machine guns come up to intercept it from the starving people, and they keep it all for their
Like African rebels.
Well,
or
you gotta think.
I
You're not trained with a
stand there with a
lightsaber. It's
lightsaber.
just you with a lightsaber.
pretty intimidating. I think at least if I was holding a lightsaber, it's pretty intimidating. I don't know about you
That's
guys.
what African warlords are known for, is being
Yeah.
intimidated by one
Small
person.
white girls
Yeah.
with lightsabers.
You know, I'm gonna high road everyone. I would feed the kid.
Oh, well, I would definitely
So you-
feed the kid. But
You're gonna come off as the nice guy.
Yeah.
I see. The pretty one.
classic.
Well, I'm just saying. Okay, look. I'm not a very athletic guy. I have never been an athletic guy. I would hurt myself with a functioning lightsaber.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you bring that into it, I kind of feel like it might
Pretty
be
much
better
the clumsiest
served
person to
to
ever
feed the
exist.
kid.
Yeah, I would use the lightsaber and go attack Coney.
Attack Coney.
Wasn't he
You're
something?
taking Coney down.
Wasn't he something at one point?
Stop Coney.
Wasn't he relevant?
Hash brown, stop Coney.
Hash brown, stop.
I don't get that bit.
You have to watch The Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, man. It's a good show.
It's a great show.
Shout out Tina Fey.
Tina Fey, she's definitely listening to this too.
Yes.
I know.
She
I
might
know.
She's
really
listening.
cool.
My
She's
good
really
friend
cool.
Tina.
I know she's listening. We're on Stitcher.
Some T-Fay.
Oh, yeah.
What up, T-Fay?
Oh yeah.
All right. My personal favorite one that I follow, like, that I use all the time. Would you rather watch your parents have sex for the rest of your life, or
Oof.
join in once to make
Ugh.
it stop?
Oh Lord.
Oh my.
Well, my
Man.
parents have been
Jesus
divorced for many
Christ.
years, so that would just be awkward all the way around.
They don't have to be married to get together.
Yeah.
I mean, this is
Oh,
America,
God.
man. We don't play that.
Yeah, 50% of divorces or marriages end in divorce.
Hey, what's that have to do with the statistic that I just brought up?
I don't know. The anti-vaxxer statistics didn't make sense either. 50% of divorces start with marriage.
There it is.
The other 50% don't somehow. We're not
Yeah.
sure how that happens, but it works out.
Someone traded a chicken for a woman. I don't really understand.
I feel that I would just have to watch it for the rest of my life. I mean, as much as I want it to stop, I just don't think I could do it. Like, know how, like, I'd have to live with that. Like, at least with me having to watch it, it's like I can't control that. It's like a curse or whatever. I
mean,
imagine in
because
this scenario,
everyone knows it happens anyway.
right?
So, I mean...
But then I'd have to live the rest of my life with that.
Yeah.
To what extent do you have to watch? Like, are your eyes being held open, a Clockwork Orange style, and you're being forced to watch? Or
Let's say
can I,
yes.
like, close my eyes and
No.
pretend it's not happening?
You're
You just have to
forced to
listen to
watch.
it.
Not really here.
You're like being...
Well, either way, I would never join in.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
just
no.
horrifying.
So, next
No.
one.
Oh, wait, Dakota, you didn't answer either
Yeah.
of these.
Yeah, come on.
No, I answered the first one,
yeah.
how I would take the lightsaber and
Yeah,
go
to kill Coney. Yeah.
Okay.
Alright, so what's your answer for this one?
Hashtag kill Tony.
See?
Tony.
Kill Tony.
Kill
Don't
Tony.
kill
Fuck you, Tony.
Go kill Tony Montoya.
Tony's listening to this.
Fuck you.
We're sorry, Tony.
Yeah, he's listening to this. He definitely is.
See,
Him and
everyone,
Tina.
is
Both
everyone,
on Stitcher.
is everyone listening to this? Just because we're on Stitcher?
Oh yeah.
Is Stitcher really that big?
Smart radio.
Yeah, see, I would have to watch. I couldn't do it.
Okay.
Yeah, see, I'm not. There's no contention on this.
Because your sister is not involved.
Yeah,
so.
exactly. If it was Princess Leia, I would have done it.
How does she live with herself after that? You know, after always knowing.
Well, she was just like, it was for a bit.
It was a bit.
It was a bit.
It was a thing.
I feel like she was good with it. Like she's
Is it
like,
worth
yeah,
it to
just
be
had
with
see it
Han? I
once.
think
I
that's,
mean,
that's where it came
her
down.
entire planet's blown up. I think her, like, sensibilities are out the window anyway.
Oh, so you're saying she's probably dealing with a little psychological trauma?
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
There's no telling what Vader
I mean,
did to her with those
okay.
little
They
interrogation
blew up her
droids.
planet, and then she is stripped down to, like, a metal bikini and chained to a fat thing, like, almost instantly afterwards.
Well,
So-
Star Wars got to, like, 50 Shades of Grey before 50 Shades of Grey.
Yeah.
Really what's happening.
With Jabba?
Yeah.
Oh.
Slave Leia.
Okay, just making sure I was on the right track with you. All right, I've got one more.
Okay.
Would you all rather know the date of your death or the cause of your death?
Date.
Date.
Yeah.
I would rather know the cause, just so I could avoid it for as long as I could. You know what I mean? It's just.
But then, like, what if the cause was like you die
Just natural
like
causes.
If it had
in
natural
your
causes.
sleep,
Yeah.
you choke to death in your sleep or asphyxiate in your sleep. Like every time you go to sleep, you'd be, is tonight the night? You'd be terrified. You'd be living on edge. But then I don't mean.
Yeah, I think that's why I would go with the date, because it's so final, you know? Like, if
Yeah.
I only know the cause, then like you said, I'd be like so just panic-ridden and like anxious that I'm like trying to avoid the thing I know is going to kill me, that I would probably like pull a That's So Raven, where like my defiance of the future will create the future.
Yeah.
You know, it's self-fulfilling prophecy at that point. So like I would go with like knowing definitely it's December whatever 2025 whatever.
Because then at least you know how long you have to do as much living as possible. Whereas if you were just constantly afraid of what's going to kill me.
But wouldn't y'all rather know what was going to kill you? So if it was like, if you had to die peacefully versus if you were going to die on like a machete or something like that, I don't know.
No, see, because if I knew the date, I would, like we've been saying, live as much as you can, like have a great life, and then I would just go and I'd sit on a mountaintop in Tennessee somewhere and just wait.
Right.
Just wait my death.
Very
And it's
Ron
going to be...
Swanson of you.
Yeah.
Get eaten by a bear just because you were
Yeah.
in Tennessee.
You know what?
Get off it.
If a bear's got to kill me, whatever. Fine with it.
There's worse ways to go out.
That's a
I mean,
pretty
for sure.
gangster way to go out.
Yeah.
And,
Like you hear what happened to Justin Butler?
Killed by a bear.
He was eaten by a bear.
It's pretty hardcore.
Yeah.
You know?
That's pretty cool.
You could be like
Could be.
choked to death on a combo while recording a podcast.
All right.
Who's up next with the?
Well, what did you do this week?
Oh, what did I do this week? I went to
What did you do
school.
this week?
You know, studied for my applied behavior analysis again. It turns out I have to change my minor again.
Ah.
So this is the third minor I'm going on. Because FSU PC does not have an econ minor, which they did not tell me. So
I thought it was mind-blowing that they took away the class, that like you don't get like any kind of refund for like it just being useless, you know what I mean?
I can now, if you guys open up a small business, I can help you out there financially.
I guess knowledge is the reward
I
of what
know.
you pay
Knowledge
for.
is power.
I know marginal cost, marginal revenue, all that crap.
Nice.
It's a lot of fun. Got an A in the class.
Alright, let's move on to somebody else.
All right. So what I did this week was listen to Dakota fuck up an intro 6 times.
Oh, nice.
No,
I think I was there for that.
I've had a chill week. My parents are gone, so I've just been watching the dog, sitting at the house. Now, my fact for the week is I fucking hate peacocks.
Like the bird.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's a topic. That's a topic.
But let me regale you with
They
a
are
tale.
terrifying creatures.
So 6th grade, not 6th grade, 6-year-old, kindergarten, kind of pudgy, bowl cut, Hawaiian shirt wearing Justin
Dude,
is
I had that exact same look back then, man. Hawaiian shirts every day, but mine was because it's like The Rock always wore Hawaiian shirts back in his early career in the WWF, and I was like, I have to be The Rock.
See, that's a lot cooler. Mine was like, my dad wears these.
I imagine Gibby.
Gibby.
Kind of.
The Gibbs.
Kind of. But we go...
Oh, yeah, beans.
We go on a nice little field trip to the local zoo. And my mom is one of the chaperones. And with my mom being one of the chaperones, I still managed to get separated from the group and no one notices.
Oh my god.
Which, it's amazing because they have like a petting zoo and everything. So like kindergarten Justin is super excited. Going around looking at all the zoo animals by himself. And finally, after about 30 minutes, I get to this, where the camels, there was this pavilion kind of thing. And I'm at one end of it, and I look at the other end, and a peacock kind of walks into frame, to use a film term. And so I'm like, oh, peacocks are nice and sweet. And so I wave at it, and it ducks down, and it fans its feathers out, and like a lightning bolt, it is just darting after me. So
Screaming?
Screaming.
Yes.
So my pudgy little kindergarten self is running around crying and screaming at the top of my lungs. I see workers like scrambling, and I'm crying, screaming for my mom. I'm just a mess of a child. And then I just hear this kind of like noise. And I look behind me, and they've tranked out the peacock.
No way.
And
They had to drop the peacock on site.
They pick it up.
That's insane.
They're taking it. So ever since then, I have been scarred. They're devil birds, and we live in Florida, I see them walking around in the wild.
Is it really?
Yeah.
That exact same thing happened to me at the zoo in Columbus, Ohio.
I used to
was, like,
chase
5.
the peacocks when I went to the zoo. I always tried to get my hands on them, and I could never catch it. But your story just made me have the realization that like a zookeeper is the only profession that you're getting a call over radio. Like, we've got to trank the peacock. Like, it's insane to me.
It's probably not the
wedding
first
planners
time.
might have to deal with that.
Yeah, that's true.
I bet
Capture those doves.
I bet the peacock likes it, so just keeps charging children. Nice little
Gotta get
sedative.
that high. Gotta get that train turn.
Yes.
Good stuff.
Yeah, at the gym, we call people who are douchebags and like puff out their chest and all that. We call them peacocks.
Oh, yeah.
'Cause they're trying to just prance around, thinking they're the shit, when really, you know.
You came out of your car today, like peacocking around with your
Yeah.
arms all up.
Yeah,
like
when I was
you're all
kidding.
Look like
small.
the Incredible Hulk.
I mean, I was playing around with my ILS, you know.
And what was the ILS again?
Invisible lat syndrome.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Lats. Latissimus dorsi. Dorsey. I don't know how you say it.
All right.
Cool. Kate, tell us about your life. Tell us about your
Your
love
week
life.
and your life.
Tell us about your love life.
Pretty phenomenal. No.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, that's on tape.
Yeah.
Is it manic?
Of course. And Hispanic.
And Hispanic.
Puerto Rican by injection.
Nice.
That's
Nice.
There's a t-shirt.
classy.
New t-shirt.
Super classy. Well, this week I discovered that I am a 65-year-old woman. Not really, but I do own a healthy collection of cardigan sweaters and love the Golden Girls.
Yeah.
And I
Dude.
watched Dancing with the Stars this week. And got
You did
into
not
it.
diss the Golden Girls.
Yeah, can we address that, please?
I mean, Betty White's okay. I've never seen the show.
Well, then you can't
Yeah, you
diss
can't
it.
diss it. You're one of those guys.
It's
You're one of those guys
amazing.
that has like an internet blog that hates everything, but you're like, I didn't see this, but from what I can tell, it was garbage.
Yeah, old people just keep me out. Like, I have a legit fear of, like, old people.
What
It's
about
because
racist old people?
you're staring into your future, and it terrifies you.
Exactly. It's like the scariest thing. It's like if I die from...
Oh, it's like the equivalent of knowing when you're going to die,
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Kind of.
Okay.
It's like if I know that I'm going to be old in the future, I'm terrified of that. If I figure out that I'm going to be old in the future, I'm going to be terrified.
Well,
No, see?
I hate to break
If
it
I
to
live
you.
long enough, the way science is going, I'm not going to age past like 45.
Oh, yeah, they'll get the
Okay.
nanobots
Yeah.
working that'll like restore your cells and whatnot.
Yeah.
You know,
That's great, man.
I'd rather just die.
I'd rather be old.
I'd rather just get old and die.
I look forward to being old. I enjoy my gray hairs.
Yeah, I like my gray hairs, but I definitely want a lightsaber and live forever.
Well, yeah.
I really want the Reed Richards salt and pepper.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I want. It's just those sides. Exactly.
Very classy.
What about
So Dancing with the Stars.
Oh, yeah, so
Yeah.
I watched Dancing with the Stars.
Go Robert Herjavec?
And I don't know who that is.
He's
Is that
the-
the guy from Shark Tank?
Yeah.
Yeah, he is, like, very surprisingly delightful.
I love Robert.
Like, every time he dances on that show, he's just got this big smile, and I really thought he was going to be a douchebag, but, like, no.
Is he the one
he's
that
real
looks
delightful.
like the douchebag? Like he's always got like the pimped out Rolex, button-up
Yeah.
shirt,
Probably.
black hair.
Yeah, he's, like, insanely rich.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's a shark. You
Yeah.
respect sharks in the ocean.
Which
But,
call-
like, he's really likable. It's weird.
I love him, especially on Shark Tank. He's the nice guy. He'll give the people begging for money. He'll be like, "Here, I'll give you this. Like, what you want for 90% of your company. Take it or leave it." he's like, "I'm the only one who gives you an offer, and you can take it, and your company survives. And I'm probably gonna replace you, but it survives."
Yeah, you get a payout.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So
Fair enough.
that's business, man.
Yeah.
fun. That's So what was your little idea?
Yeah, get to know you.
Oh, just that I
Oh,
watched
that
Dancing
you're
with the
old.
Stars.
Yeah.
and
And
I'm
that's
She's
your
old
old
at heart.
lady. Yeah, I
She's
got you.
old
Okay.
at heart.
And the oldest of all 4 of us.
What?
Hooray.
Speak up, Sonny boy.
All right, so let's get on to our next one, which is headlines. The next category is headlines. What are some
Headlines.
crazy news that have happened this week that anyone wants to just talk about?
I have one that wasn't for this week, but it's a headline that I went back to because I felt like we weren't recording when this came out, but we would have covered it if we were, and that's Leonard Nimoy.
Oh.
And I know it's a bummer.
Yeah, he died.
I know it's a bummer, but I felt like it was worth bringing up and just saying that I love Leonard Nimoy.
May the force be with him.
I thought he was awesome.
That's not the right
That
quote.
was-
Live long and
rough.
prosper, man. Live
Harsh
long and
man.
prosper,
Yeah.
for Christ's sake. So,
God.
he's famously Mr. Spock on Star Trek, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe.
But what you may not remember is that Nimoy hosted a show named In Search Of at one point, which was more relatable to...
Is it Carl Sagan, kind of?
No.
Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Sagan did science.
No, but like Neil deGrasse Tyson, that kind of show.
But what this show was, it covered like mysteries of a phenomenon, ghosts, aliens, that kind of thing.
Interesting.
Which is more equatable to what I grew up with, like, what was it? Undiscovered mysteries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unsolved mystery.
Unsolved mysteries. I even... yeah. And one of the shows covered the mystery of a Bigfoot.
No
I say
way.
a Bigfoot because there's definitely more than one Bigfoot. We can all
You got
agree
the
on that.
Sasquatch,
Right.
Squatch.
And so I love monsters and sci-fi and myth.
Mm.
So that was really awesome. I watched it today and it was glorious, like 70s, really bad TV with like Roger Patterson footage of the Bigfoot and like why you shouldn't kill it because that they're an endangered species.
Right.
But then there's other people in the opposite camp that were on like, we should kill it because we don't even know if it exists anyway. What's it matter if we kill it and it's the last one?
Hash brown,
At least
save
we
the
got to prove
Bigfoot,
it.
guys.
Yeah, save the Bigfoot.
Hash brown, save the Bigfoot.
Hash brown, I still don't understand this bit.
Yeah, so I'm like,
UVK.
I have to back this up though to get to what my actual topic is here. So Jane Goodall.
I have no idea who that is.
What?
Let me get into it. I got it.
You knew this was coming.
Yeah. So Jane Goodall was famously an English primatologist, ethologist, anthropologist, a UN messenger of peace. She's best known for her 55-year study of social and family interactions of wild chimpanzees. Now, Goodall has flat out gone on record as saying, I'm not going to flat out deny its existence, in reference to the Bigfoot. All right?
And if anybody knows anything about primates, it's Jane Goodall.
And after the Nimoy episode, I couldn't really say that Bigfoot wasn't real after what I saw there.
Right.
Like they got me. I believed it.
Did you not believe it before?
I kind of did. I wasn't sure where my footing was on it.
You're
But
on
after
the
this like Jane Goodall discovery and Nimoy telling me that it was definitely a real creature, I'm in. So she goes on to say in interviews, of course, it's strange that there has never been a single authentic hide or hair of a Bigfoot, but I've read all the accounts. So I imagine like Jane Goodall sitting around and reading every insane story about Bigfoot, and she's like, that's legit.
So, yeah.
I bet she's like Audible and doesn't exactly look at all the podcasts to see if they're actually promoting them. So I bet she's lying.
That's a bit from the car ride earlier. None of you listening heard.
It's good to reference things that aren't recorded. Those are the best kinds of things. So all of this,
Yes.
it brings me to my topic.
About time.
And that is, if you were a Bigfoot, how would you avoid detection and why would you do it?
So people would not look at me like crazy. I would shave all my fur off, and I would just dress as Andre the Giant.
People
Simple
might
as
look
that.
at you crazy for being Andre the Giant and alive.
Plus, you probably
Yeah,
don't
but he was
speak-
rich.
Probably don't speak English. if you're a Bigfoot.
I mean, could Andre the Giant speak English well?
Oh.
He was like,
Oh,
dude.
man.
Oh my god.
See?
He was in a movie, man. He acted.
He was the Princess Bride. He said 2 words the entire movie, and he beat people up.
The most beautiful spoken 2 words, better than any 2 words we've put together on this.
Yeah.
For real.
What words are those? I forgot.
What?
Princess Bride, what 2 words are those?
I don't know.
I think he
I
said
don't
more
remember.
than 2 words.
Oh, I thought, because I
said
said 2
several
words.
Yeah,
words.
he said 2 words.
Yeah, but they were all like caveman-y, so that could just be like
He just had a heavy bass in his voice.
Yeah, I mean, he was gigantic, dude. Like, you're not going to
like a
go on break.
Bigfoot. I'm sure it was. I think that he was actually a Himalayan Bigfoot because they're bigger and they have to have more body fat. Because I think a normal Bigfoot is like, let's go like Johnny Depp or something like that. You know how he has all the hair and it's kind of crazy looking, like his size.
What?
In what way
Like-
is Johnny Depp a Bigfoot?
No, because
Explain that to me
he's
right
weird.
now.
He's weird as hell. Okay, he just doesn't fit the natural like order of the universe. Does he not?
Johnny Depp doesn't actually exist.
I just know
I don't
he's,
believe in Johnny
he's
Depp.
too cute to be real. That's all I have to say.
Like he's such a good actor. He could just be playing a human.
Get to know your
Johnny Depp
podcaster.
is a-
Joey is known as the cheap Johnny Depp.
Yeah, I was once stopped and told, hey, that guy looks like Johnny Depp. And so I got like a nice little
You're like, yeah.
bounce in my stride as I keep going. And
Swagger.
then I hear him go, well, a cheap Johnny Depp. And I was like, why did he need to add that? Why did he? It
Couldn't have just let me
You're the
use it.
Kmart blue light special,
That's
Johnny
what I'm
Depp.
saying. Like, he couldn't just let me have it. No. He had to toss in 3 seconds later. Cheap Johnny Depp.
Maybe it means cheap, like you're on sale, like you're one of the top.
Yeah, I'm
The
special.
TJ Maxx
Okay.
Johnny Depp.
I like the way that you reworked that.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm a special item.
It's like it's like the Amazon Prime
Limited
deals.
edition.
Yeah, exactly. Free shipping on this one.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, yeah, let's go with that.
Works better for me.
Whatever floats your boat.
I'm gonna go with it because it serves me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whatever spanks your monkey.
Absolutely.
If I was a Bigfoot, I probably wouldn't hide it. I would full on Harry and the Hendersons.
Oh,
entirely.
Yeah.
all right. You're flaunting it. You're
Yeah,
a freak
just-
flag fly.
Let's put it all out there. Hang out with John Lithgow.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's the way
John
to do it.
Lithgow.
Oh yeah.
We all know who that guy
Son
is.
Fame.
That's right. He's the alien commander in that show.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
That he is.
That's right. I know that show. That wasn't a quiz question.
He was
Trivia
also in the movie Man of La Mancha or Don Quixote, which was also
Yeah,
a
he's in Don
Trivia
Quixote.
question.
trivia question.
These are all reference to the trivia game that none of you were here to listen to.
Yeah, exactly. We're real referential here, just not of our show.
We reference everything.
We
if
reference-
you don't get it, then sorry.
We reference our Mosey's
Born.
Trivia Night. Mosey's, downtown historical Panama City.
It's
Go
still
check
trying
it
to
out.
parlance that advertisement, huh?
It'll
Yeah.
turn into one eventually.
All right.
We're
Bar tab, that's
really
all we're
working for
asking.
that free bar tab, man. Come on, just one a
So,
week.
how do you hide, and why?
I wouldn't.
Are you
I
going
go
with
with what
Justin?
Justin said. Full on Harry and the Hendersons.
Oh, me and Joey, I think are on.
Well-
I think the table's split.
Uh-oh.
No, I put that.
God damn it, Joey.
I would hide my poop, and I would do it because I hate people.
Just your poop.
Yeah.
You wouldn't hide yourself.
No, man. That's how they catch you. Was by going by like, where your droppings are. That's how they get evidence on you. So I
Otherwise,
bury
it's
that.
just sightings.
Yeah, the hair is going to turn up like, mysterious and whatnot that they don't have it in their records. But that could be anything. That could be a bear that they just haven't discovered yet. They discover stuff all the time.
I feel like what you should do, if you're aware enough as a primate to do this, is instead of hiding your poop, like just hiding your pile of poop, you should like take parts of it and like hide it in other animals'
Yes.
droppings. That way it
Yes.
drives people nuts.
Oh yeah, I just love the visual of like my giant Bigfoot hands trying to like wedge my poop into other animals so they can poop it out later.
You're very highbrow.
That is gross.
That's messed up.
That's messed up.
Ew.
All right.
So who else has a headline?
I've got one.
Kate has one.
So the headline reads, Man survives falling 18 feet down sinkhole at Illinois golf course.
Scary.
And what instantly came to my mind when I saw this headline was, that is how Space Jam started.
Oh,
So I got really excited,
yes.
and I read the article, and apparently it's not all that uncommon But that is how Space Jam started. And this guy, instead of being excited that he just fell into Space Jam, panicked and dislocated his shoulder. And started crying in the bottom of the sinkhole.
Let's hope he didn't die. That's
not nearly as fun
I
as
would
that
have
movie
been
was.
thrilled. I'd have been like, Bugs Bunny, where are you?
Yeah.
Come on, dude.
Find him.
Let's go play some basketball. I'm pumped.
At the very least, you should roll with the punches and be like, alright, I was golfing, now I'm spelunking. It's fine, let's just go with it.
This is
good.
cool.
It's
This
cool.
is not cool.
It's a
The
good day.
Monstars are going to show up at any moment with Charles Barkley's abilities. Which, if they did that now, like, he's just going to, like, talk.
He's just gonna talk on TNT.
Yeah.
That's how a Shaq.
Exactly. Like, have weird little gold man dances together and stuff that we saw at Applebee's.
Give his supposedly Uncle Tom like topics, content.
He
I
was
love
all
Charles
the time.
Barkley. Sir Charles is the greatest thing.
Sir
You guys know?
Charles.
You guys know what his nickname is?
No.
The round pound mound to rebound, something like that.
That's way
That's
too
a lot of
long.
rhyming
Who's gonna
words.
be at a party and be like, round pound, mound, a rebound?
Yeah, that's not
No, it's the
nickname.
round mound of rebound. That's what it is.
The round mound of rebound.
That's what it is. Yeah,
So he wanted a tongue twister for his nickname.
Yeah.
I guess.
That's
My
what he felt
grandfather
was
saw
appropriate.
Charles Barkley at
Sir
a casino
Charles.
in Las Vegas once. And he was so, like, taken aback, like, oh my god, that's Charles Barkley, that he walked directly into a glass panel door. It didn't break, but he just, like, walked into the door and smacked his head.
That's
I was like,
something I
oh
would
crap,
do.
that was Charles Barkley.
That's something I would do, and I wouldn't even be distracted. Like, I'd just,
Yeah,
like, walk
that's something
right
I
into
do
the door.
daily.
Yeah.
Sir Charles Barkley's pretty cool.
Yeah. But not as cool as Shaka Claus. I'm just saying. Just throwing that out
The
there.
giant Shactus. The big
Shaq.
Aristotle.
I mean, if you can't say that Shaq is tall, and if you can't say that he's terrible at free throws, you can definitely say he's got more nicknames than anyone I've ever seen. And I'm a fan of the Wu-Tang Clan.
Yeah.
And those guys have like 10 names apiece. And Shaq still like outdoes them all by himself.
Yeah.
Shaq
Because
Daddy.
he's funny.
But I mean, what do you expect from a genie that's been hiding inside of a boombox that pops out and raps? You know,
What is your really quick? What is your favorite like Shaq song?
oh man, I don't know any of them by name. I just know like when they hit,
Oh, man.
Oh,
it hits me like right in my spine, and I just cannot move. It's like that Mountain Dew commercial when the
Yeah,
beat kicks
Shaq.
in and
Yeah.
everybody goes off it. That's me and Shaq, dude.
Just it's not really a Shaq song that I'm gonna go with, but it's that Aaron Carter song. You guys know what I'm talking about? The I beat Shaq
I
in
Want
basketball.
Candy?
I beat Shaq. Yeah, I only know.
You know,
Candy.
I'm ashamed to admit it, but I know exactly what you're talking
God.
about.
The Armageddon is happening when like any one of us knows what the hell Dakota's talking about.
This
Because
is
of
sad
music.
because I'm the only one here who was actually a teenage girl at one point. So the fact that you guys know what this is and I don't, that's a
Yeah, Aaron. It's
well done.
it's actually a
well
music
done,
video
gents.
of Aaron Carter dreaming that he's beating Shaq in like basketball and dunking on him and everything. And then he wakes up. It's like, oh crap, none of that was real.
That's like
It has a-
M. Night
it
Shyamalan
It has a
right
really
there.
strong third act.
Yeah, the third
It really
act is
picks
good.
up.
Oh man, that's inventive.
You know.
That was really
Fantastic.
inventive.
You got a headline?
I do have a headline. It's a little sad, but it was something that is so almost straight out of a movie that I could not talk about it.
What dies?
Nothing dies. Somewhere in San Francisco, there's a...
Wait, why are we hearing this?
Why are we hearing this?
Yeah, like if nobody dies, like it doesn't.
Well,
This isn't news.
it's just wait. It'll pay off.
Okay.
It will. Trust me.
All right.
So somewhere in San Francisco, I don't know the name of the prison, but there's a sheriff deputy whose name is something.
Deputy sheriff.
Deputy sheriff. He's been in trouble before for sexual assault and all kinds of misconduct, but it came out earlier this week.
He's a charming guy.
That he has been training and forcing his inmates to fight in gladiator-style combat
Wait a minute.
in his prison.
Wait a minute. He went from like a real dirtbag in the story to one of the greatest men to ever live.
He would train them and he would threaten them with mace. He would handcuff them to stuff and beat them and transfer to solitary confinement if they refused to fight. But if they did fight and they won, he'd give them rewards and he would like train them. So like he'd take all the fatter prisoners and just get them jacked and then make them fight.
So he legit built like a gladiator situation.
Oh yeah, and it went on for It went on for a good while, like a couple years, I think, before anyone finally like realized what was happening.
Wow.
It was.
Now, are these like fight to the death gladiator fights?
I don't think so. I think people would have noticed
Right.
if people were dying, but I do think it's. I think it's knockout. I think it's not.
This is like the Michael
Amazing.
Vick of.
Of prisoners. Oh, Jesus. I mean...
Is this dude going to be arrested?
Give me a second to fact check.
Yeah, we don't need
I
facts.
believe
Yeah,
he has.
we don't
He
need
has
facts.
already. He has been suspended, and there is an investigation pending. But really,
Is he white or black?
that I don't know. It does not mention in the article.
And it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see the world that way.
That's what they say.
I'm colorblind.
Literally and figuratively.
But
Yeah.
do you guys think that's really a bad thing? Maybe the severity of the crime has something to do with if people can do that to you or not. But I really don't think that's that bad. If like it's a bunch of murderers fighting each other, I'm kind of cool with it.
Yeah, I mean, like, this is like a maximum security prison.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't care.
yeah.
No, I'm not okay with this at all.
Those guys made their choices.
What is your what's wrong with it?
I mean, you can't get people to fight each other. That's not right at all. Are they? Is it against their will? Did you?
Well, yes.
So it is against
well,
the
I
will.
mean, it's not against their will per se, but they get their ass kicked if they don't.
Right.
So-
That's messed up.
You
Is that-
create that environment.
No, that's
It's
messed
kind
up.
of against the rule either way.
Yeah. In what world is that good thing? I don't care if you're a prisoner or not. Like, you don't deserve to get your rights taken away. Like, you know what I mean? You have some prisoner rights.
I don't know. I think there's varying levels of
I want to
being
know
a
where I
criminal.
can buy the DVD.
Yeah. Where's the YouTube video? And my other curiosity on it is, like, how did you cover that up? I mean, like, prisons have state inspections and
Yeah.
stuff. Like, somebody comes up, knocks on his office door, and they're like, I see you've got these guys out here, and some of them are real beat up, man, and...
Well,
it's a prison. Yeah, I guess
that
that's
would
how you do
happen
it.
naturally.
Well, one guy from state had to come by and like realize something and was pressing the issue, so everyone else in the prison just turned on the head guy.
Yeah, like, that guy did it.
Yeah.
That guy did.
And since he's been in trouble
Douchebag.
before,
That's the dude you lynch right there.
That's the guy we take out by the trees, and we take care of him the old-fashioned way.
Yeah.
That
So
was-
assault him with a knife.
With a knife.
I had to process that for a
Sure.
second. Damn.
Maybe it's no different than what you're saying.
I'm not saying no one
No,
gets
they just
stabbed.
fight.
It's just fight.
Yeah,
It's just boxing
Yeah.
I mean,
aggressively
But you're doing it against
without
the will.
gloves.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, what's the a knife versus a fist? It's similar. Except
Is
the
it?
knife, the knife's not going to kill you. A punch to the face can kill you.
I think that's a much better version of death row,
I think a
though.
knife to the face can kill you
No,
yeah.
faster than a punch
It's
to
a
the
knife to the rectal region.
Prisoners shake each other all the time.
face. Yeah.
Yeah.
They
People
survive.
die of stab wounds constantly.
Okay,
Interesting.
that was a fun topic. That was very interesting.
Yeah.
So, next up, Justin is going to take the reins here
Oh.
because it is Fox News
Oh,
versus the Onion.
snap
Oh,
dizzle.
America's favorite game
Yes.
show.
I'm going to keep tally this week. So,
Everyone
All right.
is literally on the edge of their seat.
I have chosen the style for this week's version of the game as I'm going to list two headlines, and you're going to tell me which one's which.
Now, is it just which one's which, or could they both be?
Well, how do you guys want to do it? We can do 3 rounds, and I give you 2 at a time, and you guess which one's which, or I can just read the 6 that I have, and you guess what it's from.
Do the 2 at a time. I feel
2
like
at a time?
Yeah,
I'll
fine.
get
2 at a
so
time.
confused if you
2
tell
at a
me them
time.
all. I have no.
yeah, I can't.
Well, no, it'd be
No,
like I
from
say
memory.
one, then you tell me.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
No, do the 2.
Do the
two's
2.
fine.
Okay.
But like, we gotta know now. Are you gonna?
It's,
Can it just be? Is it one or the other?
that's the twist.
yeah, that's one of
twist,
the
you
other.
know.
Oh, okay. So we
You
don't
don't
know.
know.
I just
You don't
wanted to know that in advance that it could be both Fox or it could be
Maybe.
both Onion or
Maybe
one.
not.
Yeah, okay.
We shall
You know,
see.
I was thinking we probably should do
Part
this
of the
before the
fun.
podcast.
Yeah.
But we're getting the audience to like learn the rules with us.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
All right, so starting off, first headline: Spring break, we're making Sodom and Gomorrah blush, or gerrymandering leaves nation without any borders whatsoever.
oh dang, that's hard.
I'd say the spring break one is Fox News.
I'm gonna go.
Because we just watched a Fox News
Yeah, I'm
expose
gonna go-
on spring break.
I'm with you on that one. I'm gonna go first one.
But
Fox
then
News.
Justin also watched that with us, and he could be throwing us for a loop.
Gerrymandering doesn't make sense.
I'm gonna go contrarian and go with the Onion.
Oh,
And Dakota and Kate both get points.
Yay!
Terrible at games.
I got them all last week. I didn't get one right.
Second round. Could woman who staged kidnapping be charged with a crime? And Venus added to list of historically significant planets.
What was the first one?
Could woman who staged kidnapping be charged with a crime?
I'm gonna go the first one's Fox.
I'm gonna say the kidnapping one is The Onion, and Venus is Fox News. I don't know. Would Fox News be
The kidnapping
covering
one is Fox.
planets?
No, but Fox News famously said, "How do the tides work?" So I imagine they would like run a headline that was like based in like basic science, like as like if it was shocking news. So yeah, I'm gonna go Fox News as the Venus one.
That's what I'm going with.
I'm contrary.
Only Dakota gets a point.
Yeah.
I should have stuck with my gut.
Dakota could win it here on this next
All
one.
right, round 3, the final round.
I'm like definitely out at this point.
Yeah.
I'm just like the one that you let on the field because you have to. You know, it's like PE, so everybody's got to get the exercise, but nobody wants me around.
All right. Ted Cruz declares nation not deserving of better candidate. Or kill oil rigs, save the manatees? With a question mark.
B is fault. Fox. Second
Yeah.
one is Fox.
I'm
The
gonna
manatee
go.
one is
I'm gonna
Fox.
go with Fox.
Yeah,
for me
I
as
don't
well.
think that Fox News would be
Anti-Ted Cruz.
Anti-Ted
anyway.
Cruz.
You sure? You
So-
sure you want to do that? Because if we all answer the same thing, I win. If you go opposite, you have a chance of like.
Yeah,
tying
so you
me.
kind of have to.
I'm saying that they're both Fox News.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Oh, the wrenching the monkey.
That's what I'm saying.
Ooh,
Get it?
I guess how this works is Kate gets half a point. Oil rigs is Fox News. Ted Cruz is The Onion.
I got it right.
Well, it is Fox News. I said that.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
Dakota
All right, so
wins.
Dakota wins.
I got
3 to
Flawless
2.5.
victory.
Joey got nothing.
I got one.
Oh, you
I
got one.
in the
Yeah.
end. I got one in
Did
the
you?
end.
Yep.
Yeah.
1, 2.5, 3 in Dakota's favor.
Dakota has a flawless victory.
Dakota, you get the
Flawless
non-existent
victory.
belt of news.
We need to start getting
Yeah.
a trophy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start like put it on my
Or we need to come up with a punishment
Yeah.
for the one that loses the hardest.
Ooh.
I shouldn't say that right now because I just
Yeah.
lost, but like as we do this forward, whoever loses has
Whoever
to
has the
do
least amount of
something.
points has to do
listeners
something
out
embarrassing.
there. If you want to see a punishment, tweet us what you want the punishment to be
Ooh,
at
that's
UV
nice.
Podcast.
I feel like you have to sing karaoke by yourself.
Yes.
Oh god,
Something
no.
like that.
God.
Yes.
Oh god.
All right.
Can't deal with that.
So we're on to the next topic. This is
We're
going
gonna
very
need like
smoothly.
5 Xanax to do that.
All right.
Well, this is the most sober I've ever been for a recording. So.
time for our nerdy, sciencey, techie topic.
Oh,
Our category.
Oh,
It's our
yeah.
category.
One of my favorite.
So who wants to start
Favorite
first? Because I've got a
segments.
pretty extensive one today.
I've got a good one.
So,
Okay.
So the U.S. Geological Survey
Yes.
has recently discovered, and they think that you can mine your poop for precious metals.
Ooh. See, I'm ahead.
Yeah.
I've been burying it all.
Yeah, exactly. It's perfect.
Good job, Squatch.
So apparently, you pick up metals naturally through your skin from like beauty products, detergents, odor-resistant clothing, deodorant, things like that. You just kind of gradually build deposits of metal in your body systems, and apparently enough of that can be mined from your poop to be profitable.
Is
They
this
said-
mined as in like Snow White mined, or is this like a
It
process
was like
like you
a-
distill it?
Just dig
like
through
Jankum.
shit. Well, the way it works is that half of your solid waste goes to landfills, and the other half gets processed into fertilizer.
Huh.
So they're saying that the half that gets just kind of taken to landfills, and whatever happens to it gets buried
What are
in
they-
the ground and whatever. That half could be potentially mined for things like gold and platinum and silver. And it said
Jesus.
Blood
metals.
diamonds.
Yeah, poop diamonds. That's where I'm at.
So next time I buy something like on an impulse buy and someone's like, "What do you think you shit gold?" I can be like, "Yeah, I do." Yeah.
Yes.
Apparently, metals extracted from poop in a population of 1 million people could yield $13 million per year.
Oh my god.
Oh, when you think about it, that's really not that great. in a year $13 million, like in the grand scheme of
But
like
that's
government
but
stuff.
that's just from poop.
shit
Yeah, but
that would just go away. So I encourage everyone to go home and sift through their poo. Get a Colorado gold pan kit,
You're a real
like you would at the
prospector
river.
at the public bathroom.
Push it through it with an old shoe.
Sift through your poo.
Oh yeah.
See if you can make some earrings.
Oh.
If you eat a lot of Taco Bell, it makes the sifting a lot easier.
If like, you know, wedding rings are like, you know, like they have a metaphor for standing for like, you know, a relationship and, you know, the circle being unending and whatnot like that, like what does the wedding ring made of shit signify, you know what I mean? Like you go to the store and you buy it and you don't know. Like are you inadvertently putting a curse on your marriage that
Your
statistically
relationship will
only
literally
had
be shit.
50% of a chance of surviving in the first place?
50% survival rate.
And then you've got the shit ring.
But isn't it kind of beautiful because then out of that shitty relationship, you can mine some nuggets of real human gold.
And like, what if somebody were to, you know, mine their own poop for years and years and years, and they forged that ring themselves? That is a dedication.
That's gonna take a long
like,
time.
will you marry me? I sifted through my own shit for 20 years to make you this ring.
And brought you this shit ring.
Will you?
Shit ring.
Will you be my spouse?
So
But it's the like finest looking, like it's beautiful.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
And like that's dedication there.
Alright.
That's
Really
It's like
years.
I went literally through years of shit for you.
Yeah, exactly.
It's metaphorical for like, you know, I
Yeah.
turn my bads into a good.
Yeah,
I turn shit into
it
gold.
might be. I definitely don't want to share it, but
is the 13 million? Is that if all of America does it? Or?
it's 1 million people for
that's
1 million people.
Oh, never
Or 1
mind.
million per
I'll go back to
Yeah,
my thing. That's
that's-
not that
So
bad.
that means on average,
It's a very
that's
good profit
$13 in your shit every year.
Wow.
Yeah.
I take that back. It's still shit.
Yeah, well,
But still, that's
we already spend that much on our domain.
Yeah.
And this is shit, so we spend about that much on shit.
If a gold ring, how much does a gold ring for marriage cost?
well, it really depends.
For marriage.
For marriage.
I want you to go into like
They're really
Kay George
ranges.
and be like, I need a ring for marriage.
If you save it for 20 years at $13 a year, that's only $260, which is I don't think is that good of a ring. All right, like a gold ring, like a legit, like high quality,
No.
like gold ring.
But I think you're missing the point.
Yeah.
This is gold
Shit.
out of literal shit.
Yeah, that's pretty
Like
cool.
nothing else is
That's
being
what the
done
like
with.
alchemists and like, you know,
Full Metal Alchemist.
the Iron Age
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
really desperately wanted bad, man, was to be able to turn like metal into gold, and if only they knew they could have just turned their
Yeah.
shit into gold that
For
whole
real.
time.
Idiots.
But then the other question that the article raised for me was the part where they talk about half your solid waste goes to landfills and the other half gets used for fertilizer. What is that fertilizing? Like,
Food.
are our fruits and vegetables fertilized by human poo?
Oh
I
yeah,
think in
probably.
Mexico they are. I know in
Oh,
Mexico
yeah.
they are. I don't think
Definitely
here.
Mexico.
Definitely Mexico.
Or at the
It's gotta
very
be
least, it
Mexico.
feeds the grass, it feeds the cows, that feed you. So.
Yeah.
I'm sure you break it down somehow.
Horrifying.
Hey man, it's a circle
Circle
of
of
life.
It makes nitrogen, I think. Which
Lion
is
King
solid.
tried to tell you. It tried to tell you a long time ago.
You're gonna eat your shit.
The circle of your shit ring.
I don't know that I'm gonna eat food ever again.
Life goes on. There's worse.
Kate's gonna filter feed for the rest of her life.
Yeah.
Sorry, SpongeBob.
Pure like intravenously.
What did SpongeBob do? Yeah, that. He knows what I'm talking about. Me and Justin are on that wavelength.
Yeah.
We got
that's
the Aaron
SpongeBob.
Carter, we've got the SpongeBob.
Yeah, man, you guys are crushing
We're
it.
really throwing it up this pod.
Alright, I'll dive into mine because mine's just a quick footnote of a science thing. Jupiter's largest moon, Ganymede.
Oh, Ganymede.
Shout out
Right.
Ganymede.
It actually,
love Ganymede.
they were studying its aurora, which is essentially its version of the northern lights, and they could tell by the way it was shifting that there was actually oceans under Ganymede's surface, and they said that when
awesome.
technology allows us to
Awesome.
reach there, it actually might have the highest potential to be a habitable surface in our
So
solar
it's,
system.
It's like Titan on Saturn.
Yeah.
Where, like, it's suspected that underneath its frozen surface there's like an entire possible ecology
Yeah.
in the oceans that are underneath
Yes.
it. That's awesome.
This is going to be a whole,
It's like the Ganymede's
Alien
cooler than
thing.
its planet.
Yeah.
What was that movie? What was that terrible one? Like the pre-sequel, the prequel.
Oh, you're talking about Prometheus.
Yeah, Prometheus.
The terrible.
Did you say it was terrible?
No.
Like,
no.
I didn't think it was that great.
Prometheus.
I didn't think it was that great.
No.
Oh man, it was
Fassbender was the best part of that
awe-inspiring.
movie.
It was
That
all, yeah.
movie was amazing.
I do agree
Fassbender
with
was
that.
amazing in it, but all of that movie was amazing.
Yeah, man.
Except maybe
I give
Charlize
it a
Theron.
solid C. But...
The Alien series is like perfect.
Yeah.
That's my
So
favorite.
you like Alien 3 and 4?
Yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Resurrection is my favorite. One of my favorite movies of all time.
And 3 was directed by Guy Ritchie. I mean, like,
Yeah.
it's a very solid movie.
The Cook, right?
No, not the cook, the director. Son of a
I'm
bitch.
kidding, that's Guy Fieri. But,
Everything in the Alien universe
Aliens
is
is the best.
amazing to me.
Cameron?
I don't see the Cameron one. It gets me because like Cameron ignored like
All rules of space.
yeah, of space. Like he thought like a spaceship works like an airplane, and that Ripley can just open the dock bay, suck the queen out, and like her anatomy just completely exposed to the elements of space are just fine.
There's like
For like a
explosions
long
and
time
sound
too.
all throughout space.
Sorry, you have to, there's a bit of a suspension of disbelief.
No, see, like that goes to a certain extent, but like in a serious movie like
In
Aliens,
a sci-fi film, I feel like you can't ignore the rules of
space.
I'm sorry.
I think
It's
that's something
just-
interesting that I just thought about. How far, when your disbelief is suspended, like what is that one thing in a movie where you're like with it entirely? What is that one point where you're like, no, fuck this?
when Ripley opens the bay doors.
Yeah, like
I'm
that
good
crushed
with
it
the
for
like.
me
Okay,
there.
the aliens are real. They're in space. Like all of it. I'm with all of it until there's sound going on out in the vacuum of space, and she opens the doors, and everything's fine.
I don't even think of that. I'm just enjoying the movie because I'm suspended in disbelief.
No, because there is like a line there. I mean, like when you watch, let's say Iron Man 3,
Okay,
right?
I'm following.
I'm there with you that like Tony Stark can build like what's a multi-billion-dollar suit and build probably 100 of them
Okay.
just because he's got insomnia. I'm there
Right.
with that. When motherfuckers start making fireballs out of their hands, that's when I'm like,
What's
this
it called?
doesn't work.
What's it called?
I don't-
Terminus or
what's going
something? Like that?
You get the extremist.
Extremist.
Yeah, like it works on the page for me. Like when it's in the book, it's like I get it. You're in the comic universe, everything happens there. But like some reason in the movie, it's like
Yeah.
there's a
Well-
certain tone set, and then they like just completely go weird with it.
Well, you gotta think, like, had that been in Iron Man 1, no, it wouldn't have worked. That worked for me because by the time Iron Man 3 came out, you've been introduced to aliens and Thor.
True.
So the realism, quote unquote, of Iron Man has been out the window for 3 movies before
Yeah.
that, so I was fine with it. I mean, still not the greatest Iron
Like
Man
I can
movie.
suspend my disbelief. I've watched the Fast and the Furious movies. Like I can go with that, but like
No,
there's a
those are
type of
legit.
action movie. Like I can watch anything happen in Die Hard, and I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
EKA,
You know, I can watch Arnold do anything. It doesn't matter to me. He can jump out of an airplane, land on a boat,
Then he'll be back.
and like not hurt himself at all. You know what I mean? And then just beat the shit out of like 30 people right off the back of landing like
But
30
Jerry-
feet out of the air.
They were all bad.
They were all bad.
in the
Doesn't
best
ruin
way,
it.
though.
Yeah. But like when it's something like Aliens, where like the first one is like a legit like haunted house in space horror movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Amazing
Like
movie.
it's tense, it's quiet, it's amazing. It's Ridley Scott's best work in my opinion. And then like in Aliens, I mean it loses it a bit because it's got that James Cameron sensibility, but everything works until you get
Titanic
to
in
that
space.
point. Yeah, and it just ruins it for me. It ruins it for me right there.
I'm sorry, you don't have a vivid imagination.
Yeah, I lack imagination. That's what it is.
That's a graphic designer.
Am I the only one at this table who hates Titanic?
I think everybody hates Titanic.
okay.
It's not that I hate it.
I love Titanic. I saw it opening night in theaters.
I saw it 3 times in theaters.
Yeah.
I've
But
never
I hate
seen
it.
I've never seen it where I'm mature enough to understand it. So it's like,
Even to this day,
like
I'm
I
not
was
mature enough to understand it.
the last time I saw it, it was in 2 VHSs that you had to take out. And another one. That's the last time I saw it.
You can find those at every yard sale.
I
Salvation Army, Goodwill.
Yeah, my parents,
everybody.
Just keep plugging them in.
Yeah.
They're not paying us.
I really want to make it a mission to own every single VHS copy of Titanic. Like, every time I see one at a Goodwill or at a yard sale or wherever, I want to own that.
I had a set of them that I tried to give away for years and could not get it into someone else's hands and out of my life. That's Titanic.
So if you're looking to get rid of a VHS copy of Titanic, send it my way.
Email theunoriginalvoice.com with the title? Is that what it's called? The subject. I have Titanic VHSs.
We send somebody that is not us to meet your sketchy ass.
Yes.
I believe that it was
theunoriginalvoice
at gmail.com for that.
What did I say?
You should build a replica Titanic out of Titanic VHS.
Yes. I'm
now
going
you're talking. Now you're talking.
Justin's now giving me my mission in life. I have a purpose. I'm sorry, work, but you may be receiving my 2 weeks notice soon. I have a Titanic to build.
I'm just going to build an iceberg out of DVDs and just fucking ruin it.
No.
My topic kind of
I'm going to learn how to play violin.
And then I'm going to drown Joey.
Band.
My topic actually plays off of this pretty well, so I'm just going to go next. Because my topic has to deal with how I love sci-fi. Yeah. I said that before, but what I love even more is real deal science. All right. So my next topic deals with science.
Real
science. Stephen Hawking.
Ooh, no, that dude.
Is an English theoretical physicist, cosmologist, author, and director of research at the Center of Theoretical Cosmology within the University of Cambridge. His scientific works include a collaboration with Roger Penrose on gravitational singularity theorems in the framework of general relativity and the theoretical prediction that black holes emit radiation often called Hawking radiation. So this dude's so badass. He has a radiation named after him. All right?
He's so badass for so many other reasons.
He has radiation named after him. Okay?
I was saying in addition to... That is just one
radiation
notch on the... Okay.
He was the first. He was the first.
Joey has 3 pages to read here. Let him get through it.
He was the first to set forth a cosmology explained by a union of the general theory of relativity and quantum mechanics. He's a vigorous supporter of the many worlds interpretation of quantum mechanics. Okay?
Yes. With you.
Okay, so
literally has written down.
To get a little closer to my topic, let me take you to the specific interview with Hawking.
Let me take you to a place.
Yes. Hawking says,
"Hold up, read it in his voice."
No, I can't pull it off. I'm not that good. I need Microsoft Sam to pull that off. Do they still have Microsoft Sam on computers? Or am I thinking of Windows 95 still?
I like to believe it's still on there.
Yeah, I don't know.
I used to like to make that thing say fuck.
You exist
all the time because I was a very mature middle schooler.
Fuck. You had to type out the way to say it, not how
phonetically.
It was spelled. Yeah.
Oh, you remember that AIM computer that you used to be able to IM? You used to be able to AIM message the computer and it would
But you had to do it the same way. It was phonetic because it'd be fuck because Windows didn't put curse words into Microsoft Sam's vocabulary. But anyways, Hawking says, "To my mathematical brain, the numbers alone make thinking about aliens perfectly rational. The real challenge is to work out what aliens might actually be like. We only have to look at ourselves to see how intelligent life might develop into something we wouldn't want to meet. I imagine they might exist in massive ships, having used up all the resources from their home planet. Such advanced aliens would perhaps become nomads, looking to conquer and colonize whatever planets they can reach." Which, I kind of agree with that statement. Mm-hmm. Because in our own society, we don't value space exploration or really scientific endeavor at all unless there's profit or survival necessity out of it.
What other reason is there to do it?
Well, there's just basic exploration, like Justin's topic.
Knowledge.
Mm-hmm. if we put a little more money behind NASA, we could go to Ganymede and find out if there was other life.
Yeah.
You know? But the government wouldn't put money into it unless, like, they found out, like, oh, we could ore a shitload of diamonds when they have shit in their backyard.
Yeah.
That they could be siphoning for gold and whatnot. So, you know, they don't need to go to space in their mind.
True.
So my topic is, if you were an alien, how would you kill the entire human race, and why?
I would.
I thought you were gonna say, how would you hide yourself again?
How would you hide your poop?
Sorry,
and why?
If I were an alien, I would hide myself as Andre the Giant. But no,
I would not hide myself, and I'd be like E.T. Just hang out with kids.
phone home.
Ouch.
You sound like Andre the Giant.
Oh god. Oh, that's awful.
But no,
We love you, Andre.
I would change the gravitational like force field around Earth.
Like flip the polarity on the planet?
Exactly.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
fuck everything up.
Oh, yeah.
Just for fun. Then I flip it back later on. Once you got all used to it.
Yeah,
just
and
flip
then you
it
have
back.
your own, like, Eden, man. You, like, maybe that's how God did the whole 40 days, 40 nights.
No, he didn't.
Oh, man. We could rewrite this book.
We could just make a new one.
We could reboot it.
The unoriginal Bible.
Yeah.
Someone will
Or
do it.
retcon.
Retcon the Bible.
We'll retcon on it.
I've already got the book of Cooter. That is
The book of Cooter.
we have the book of the Manic. We have the book of the Succubus. We have the book of Alfred. So when they look back in time and find Alfred at the Unoriginal Voice podcast, they're not going to find us. So it'd be like, yeah, never existed.
Never existed.
I just want to, before I answer your question, I want to bring it back around to when you were talking about Stephen Hawking. I thought you said cosmetologist at first, and so I just keep imagining Stephen Hawking like cutting someone's hair, like, tell me more about your day, girlfriend.
Don't get into my topics for next week. Right. Don't get into my topics for next
You
week.
deserve better.
I mean,
That'll be $5.95.
I want to
This blush
answer.
is darling.
I want to answer about the aliens, but I feel like you skipped over something very important about Stephen Hawking
What's that?
and what makes him a badass. In
He still
addition
drive a
to
car.
his own radiation or whatever it was,
Mm-hmm.
that he pays bitches to dance
Oh,
up on
yeah.
him.
Oh, yeah, he doesn't pay for that. He goes to, like, swinger communities, and then,
Gets it
like,
for free.
other guys'
That's right.
wives will just, like, be all up on him and stuff. It's crazy to me. Like, when I heard that,
He goes
I
to
was
parties
like,
and bitches.
he
just
really
grind
is
up on
my
him.
hero, man.
Yeah.
I wouldn't
the
want to
man.
be him.
No.
But he is my hero.
But to answer your question, I would have a full-scale Mars Attack style invasion with like the 50s looking ray guns. Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
I was thinking like District 9. I mean, just like,
That didn't work out for those aliens very well, man.
oh
kinda
yeah, that's
sucked at
right.
me, though.
That's the
Never
opposite.
seen
That's
it.
what I was thinking.
Prawns, yeah.
Never saw
Never
it.
mind.
Oh, it's really good.
That's a good.
I
I
would-
heard it was.
You know, enslave humans. I'd create the Matrix out of alien technology.
Wow.
I would create a tiny germ that gave someone zombieism and allow for the entire zombie apocalypse for humans to wipe out other humans and then go pick up the scraps.
Nice.
And I just spoiled The Walking Dead for you because that's what's going to happen.
Yep.
Aliens.
Yep. That was Robert Kirkman's original pitch.
Yep.
Yeah, because Image turned him down the first time and said no one cares about zombies.
Can you imagine?
So he went back.
Can you imagine a point where The Walking Dead got turned
Yeah.
down at the door?
We're like, nah,
nah,
I don't think zombies are gonna be a big thing.
I don't think it's gonna work.
He went back like a month later and was like, okay, I had that same idea, but I rewrote it a little bit. Aliens are the cause, and they signed on it immediately. And now he's just been doing it for. They're in the 130s. Have they hit 140 yet?
Yeah, they're close to it. I think
Yeah,
they're at, like,
and
138,
no
139.
mention of aliens.
Yeah.
The original Walking Cast.
The Walking Cast.
Fun. Fun.
Yep, well, that was my topic.
Yeah.
You guys ready for this one?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right. So we all played video games as kids, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
You know, SNES, PlayStation
Genesis.
1,
Genesis was my heart.
N64, PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, Xbox, Wii, Wii U, PlayStation. Okay, I'm.
Game Boy, Game Boy Pocket, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Advance, and Game Boy Advance SP, Nintendo DS, Nintendo DS Lite,
But no,
Nintendo 3DS.
DSi, 3DS, 3DS
Nintendo
XL.
2DS.
Yeah,
3DS XL, the new 3DS XL.
It is amazing how much Nintendo will sell you the same stuff. Anyway.
the same thing from the jump.
we all know that, or all the games are created by developers.
Yeah.
Very intelligent and creative people.
Mm-hmm.
I was just curious. Did y'all have like a favorite developer growing up, or modern day? Who's y'all's favorite developer? Because I kind of want to just give a crown, like a little debate
Like for the
between all of
unsung
us.
hero, yeah.
I mean, not even unsung, just the best developer that you can think of right now, or just your favorite developer of all time.
Well, I'd have to give it to the guy who made my favorite video game to play, which is Metal Gear Solid. So,
Hideo Kojima.
yes,
Hideo Kojima.
Hideo. Which I only know his name because of the classic Psycho Mantis battle, where Mantis turns off your screen and instead of saying video in the corner, it just says video. Yeah, that's great.
Did you know he was fired?
What?
Yeah, he was recently fired
For what?
because he just finished up. I guess they just finished up on a
Phantom
production,
Pain. Yeah.
and they fired him because he didn't want to make any more.
Oh,
And they took,
man.
if you look at all the Phantom Pain boxes, his name's taken up all the boxes in previous Metal Gears, or his name's no longer.
Yeah,
Because
man.
he I think it was more planned than people give it credit for, because he said that this is his last one, which he said before, but he wanted to make sure that people knew that this is his last one. He said that as far as he knows, there's a planned remake of Metal Gear 1, and then after that, Metal Gear Solid's over. They can do whatever else with the Metal Gear name, but Metal Gear Solid
Is done.
Yeah.
Hey, man, Hideo plays by his own rules, and
Yeah.
you gotta respect that.
And he's making Silent Hills, which looks
he still making that?
phenomenal. Yes.
He is?
Yes.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
that's not even through Konami.
Mm.
So...
I'm not sure if
Which, to answer your question, my favorite developer studio is Konami, because they make Metal Gear, which is also my favorite game series,
Yeah.
and they make Castlevania, which is another one of my favorite game series.
Interesting.
So, to you, Konami, and your two good franchises.
Oh, yeah.
I have 3, but I have to narrow it down. You guys gotta help me narrow it down, okay?
Okay.
First one, I've got Rare Ltd. You guys know them, right? They made
Yeah.
Banjo-Tooie, Banjo-Kazooie, GoldenEye,
Oh,
You guys are
GoldenEye.
Did they make
Viva
Conquer?
Pinata, Conquer,
Yeah.
Donkey,
Oh,
Donkey
man,
Kong
that birthday?
64, Perfect Dark.
Yeah.
So, there's my first one. Banjo-Tooie is my all-time favorite game.
Really?
Wow.
Banjo-Tooie. Okay, which
So
a
he's
lot-
like what yours, like what my Sonic the Hedgehog is for me is
kind of like I
Yeah.
grew up on Banjo-Tooie. That was the first like legit game I ever played.
right.
So it's kind of just grown with me. Like I've beat it all on the N64. I got to my final boss. I could never beat it for some reason. Going back to it, I probably could. And then I bought it on the Xbox 360.
It's like the leitmotif of my life is like I can never get past the boss. I'll beat a game
Yeah.
99% and never get that last percent.
I have only ever in my life beaten one video game.
What's
No,
that?
two video games.
Yeah, because you beat Cooking Mama.
I didn't. I did not get to unlock everything.
Oh,
I was not 100% on Cooking Mama. I was very close. But I beat Monsters, Inc. for PlayStation.
oh wow.
And I beat the Mean Bean Machine.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Dr. Robot makes
Dr.
Mean
Robot makes
Bean
Mean
Machine.
Machine.
Man. I've got more sizzle than a rasher of bacon.
Yeah.
yeah.
Next up, I've got Naughty Dog.
Naughty
Yes,
all know Naughty
that's
Dog.
my
Crash
favorite. Crash
Bandicoot.
Bandicoot.
Crash Bandicoot.
What happened to Crash Bandicoot? He was like the flagship of
Stuck on a
PlayStation. Like he
fucking
was
level.
They don't own
their
it.
Mario, and then like he just disappeared.
They don't own
They
it
didn't-
anymore.
They sold them to
They don't-
Activision.
No, they never owned them in the first place. Universal owned them
Really?
through Sony, and then when they split,
So
when
Naughty
Sony
Dog
split
just
it-
developed the games?
Yeah, they just developed them, and then Activision bought it from Universal, and then they made a whole bunch of shitty Crash Bandicoot
Yeah.
games for a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, they Activision sold it, and I believe they sold
I think
it anyway. And
Sony got it back,
PlayStation,
right?
PlayStation's been showing a lot of their
Yeah.
trailers for stuff coming up. There's hidden Crash Bandicoot things, so
Yeah.
PS4 Crash Bandicoot might be happening.
Are we
And I
going to
need
get
that
to
in my
see
life.
Boondiga on the PS4? Is that what you're saying?
I
Maybe.
hope so.
But they've also got Jack and Daxter,
Yep.
which is another
Yep.
incredible series. Uncharted, which is an amazing series. Okay, Uncharted 4 is about to come out on PS4. I am so excited. And then they also have The Last of Us, which is probably
Love
one of my
Last
favorite
of Us.
games of all time.
That game is fucking
So
terrifying.
much fun.
The game is
yeah.
amazing. Literally
so scary.
amazing.
It is.
So
Can't argue with
there's
the
Naughty Dog. Naughty Dog's pretty damn good.
I am full on in agreement with Naughty Dog.
Naughty
then-
Dog.
Because the only game I've ever owned before meeting Joey was Crash Bandicoot Warped.
Warped is the best one.
I got it for Christmas
Warped is
when I
the
was
best
12
one.
years
I
old. And
I think it's a
have yet
better
to beat
game,
it.
but I have more connection to Crash Bandicoot 2.
Really?
Yeah.
What was that? What was that? Cortex's? What was
Yeah.
that?
Cortex Strikes Back.
Cortex
Yeah.
Strikes Back.
Wasn't it Cortex's Revenge?
That's what
Cortex
that
Strikes
was.
Back. I'm currently playing through it, and I'm 80% complete with it, like getting all the gems and everything.
Oh,
that is a
nice. That is
that is-
daunting.
Yes, that
So-
was a very difficult task.
oh my god.
Yeah, I bought the first one from the PlayStation Store, and like, I'm so garbage at that game now. Like, for whatever reason, like, the games I played as a kid that I would just boss through, I can no longer do whatsoever. Like, I play even more complicated games,
Yeah.
but like, I can't handle like Mega Man for the Nintendo anymore. Like,
Oh.
I just can't. I suck at it so bad.
I'm gonna let Dakota finish his list, and I'm gonna throw out more props. You just reminded me.
Okay, last one. Bethesda. Bethesda Softworks.
Elder Scrolls.
Elder Scrolls.
Fallout.
Evil Within. Wolfenstein.
Wolfenstein's great. I wasn't that big on the Evil Within. Loved the story, did not like the gameplay.
I watched my brother play it a lot. It was
Story's
very,
good,
very good. I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, I heard it was basically like Silent Hill, like Resident Evil kind of fodder. Yeah.
Kind of, a little bit.
Right.
In the same vein, but not.
They also have
Really?
Dishonored, which I never really played.
I didn't.
I heard it was
play
pretty good
Dishonored either.
too.
Oh, speaking of Resident Evil, I just bought the first one with Michelle Rodriguez. I can't wait to watch that movie.
Yes.
The movie?
It's like, yeah, Resident Evil. I can't
Mila
wait.
Jovovich.
Oh, Mila Jovovich. Multipass.
Yeah, I have no idea.
So I think definitely out of your list, I would. It's between Bethesda and Naughty Dog, but I'd give it to Naughty Dog.
Naughty Dog.
They're
Yeah,
more
Naughty
consistent.
Naughty Dog.
Mainly because I've played more of the games that you listed with Naughty Dog than any others.
Oh no, I think I gotta give it to Rare. Like every single one of those games are absolutely.
Okay, so you brought this up, and then you're just going to ignore
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
opinions.
I just,
All right.
I just
He just
Out
wanted
of
to-
three, I need you guys to help me narrow it down. But I'm
But
gonna
it's really
ignore
this
everything you
one.
said.
Yeah, I could feel
Pretty
by
much.
you picking something else that I was more into this one, so I'm calling you.
Yeah.
Just fuck you all. That's what you're saying.
You know how
to
you
me.
flip a coin and when it's up in the air, you know which way you want it to be. Like if it lands on heads, I'll eat a bagel. If it lands on tails, I'll have a banana. And you flip it, and you're like, oh, please land on tails.
Yeah.
You know
That's
what it
usually
is.
how I decide it, not by the actual
Exactly.
flip, but just how I felt by like the result.
So I was asking y'all, and I was like, please pick Rare, but y'all didn't, so I picked it anyways.
I'm gonna throw a few out here. Just honorable mentions.
Okay.
Capcom, because Mega Man
yeah.
and Street Fighter, and Devil May Cry. The original, not the remake with the stupid short-haired cigarette-smoking Dante. I don't want to say Nintendo, but Super Mario 64 was the first game that blew my mind to shit.
Yeah.
Super Mario 64 is pretty good.
Every Smash Brothers.
I thought they were a
ever
Rare
been
game for a little
released.
bit, because it's made
Yeah,
like the same
every
kind of
Smash
vein of
Brothers.
Rare.
Yeah, well, that's when character
Yeah.
platformers like
Were really big.
hit their second stride because they had it in the 16-bit era, and then a little bit in the 32, and then they kind of fizzled out for a
Right.
while, and then Super Mario 64 hit the scene, and it was amazing.
They need to come back now. So, like, those are, I love character, like, 3D platformers.
Yeah.
They're awesome.
Well, I mean, there's Sunshine and
Yeah,
Oh, there's
the way to name a game
Galaxy.
from 01. Way to name a game from 07.
well, whatever. I mean, like you've got the game to play.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I want a not Nintendo game.
You're one of those guys.
I don't want to play as Mario.
that cries when there's like a reboot of something and you like the original better, as if like somebody went back and just burned all the copies.
Look, I just don't want another Mario.
Well, that's what Nintendo does. They sell you the same system and the same games. Over
But they're
and
good.
over
They're
again.
consistently good, though.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Speed round. Square Enix for Kingdom Hearts.
True.
Love
Final Fantasy too.
Love that. I love Final Fantasy. I only played 7 and 10 all the way through.
10's amazing.
10 is amazing. The sequels of 10 can, but 10 itself.
It is weird to hear like something like 10-2.
Yeah.
10 too. 10X2.
Like it's just so strange.
Insomniac games for Ratchet and Clank. That was the first game I played on PS2 and the first game I ever 100%ed. Felt like I had NetherRealm Studios for Mortal fucking Kombat.
Which reminds
Absolutely.
me, the classic question, at least when I was a kid, Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter?
Mortal Kombat.
I don't like fighters. Me and my brother talk about it all the time. I just like the arcade fighter games.
I love fighting games.
Have you ever played Injustice?
I'm about to say the only one I've ever liked was Injustice.
Oh yeah,
So.
Injustice is great.
In that vein, Rocksteady for the Batman games.
Rocksteady, yeah, they win it for me in my heart just for bringing me the ability to like sit in my living room for literally 8 hours straight and be Batman.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not being Batman because I'm just sitting on my couch and eating combos, and that's not what Batman would do. I feel like Batman.
Batman doesn't eat.
He doesn't eat it.
Yeah. So Naughty Dog gets our overall award.
Yeah.
With all of us having.
Congratulations, Naughty Dog. I know they're listening to this.
I hope so. I'm gonna tweet them.
They're on Stitcher.
I'm gonna tweet
and
them.
they're listening to this now. I know it.
I'll email Neil Druckmann and the other guy.
The other guy.
Bruce Staley. That's his
The other
name.
guy.
Are they on Twitter?
Yeah.
Why aren't we following them?
I just now thought of it.
Oh, okay.
So.
Well, you follow
As
them
of
after show.
as of the time this podcast goes up, we will be following you.
Yeah, we'll be tweeting at you. We'll
Because he'll be upset
15 tweets
if he's
away.
listening to this and he knows we're not following him.
All right. So, here's our news segment for the week. We talked about it last week. This is Dakota Sports Corner, where I bring a whole sports topic
Oh, yeah.
that has nothing to do with sports.
Yep.
Ooh.
Okay? So, today's topic.
Because the people at this table know nothing about sports.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right.
All right. So, Michael Slam, we all know him, right?
Yes.
Hey.
No.
Dancing with the Stars fame. And
Yeah.
first openly
Oh,
gay
yeah, okay.
NFL draft pick.
Sure.
There's also Jason Collins from the NBA.
Yeah.
He's an openly gay NBA player. He's the first openly gay professional sports player of the
Yeah.
4 main sports in America, which are NBA baseball, hockey, basketball, or NBA
Does
baseball,
hockey make that
football?
list?
I think so. I mean, there's only
It's
out
definitely
of the
football,
4,
baseball, basketball.
and I think hockey's better than soccer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
hockey has more of a presence.
Yeah, I think
in
it does. The
United States.
NHL is
Yeah.
much more present.
So I just want to know, why do you feel like it's so hard to be gay in the professional sports scene?
I think because like the locker room is mostly like meathead kind of guys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which isn't to say that all jockey people are of that mindset, because obviously that's not true, because there's openly gay players. But I think just that like mindset, and then you're in locker rooms and showering and stuff like that, and those are the type of guys that are like, oh fuck that, I don't want him looking at me, he's definitely checking me out kind of mindset.
Yeah.
You also already are in like an industry where like you mess with each other when you play sports. I mean, you rag on each other, you prank each other, and then when
True.
you have that added element to it, there's a lot of sensitivity there. I mean, I think there's a lot of elements to it.
Did you hear about the story with Jonathan Martin last year or 2 years ago with the Miami Dolphins? They all thought he was gay, so they like pulled a whole bunch of pranks on him. They'd ask him.
Oh
like,
yeah, I remember that,
Like,
and I actually kind of like was mad at him to a degree, because like again, you're in an industry where like
alpha males left and right.
yeah, and it's
the
the standard to get
pranking.
ragged on. That's what
Yeah.
guys do to each other.
Yeah.
Like I treat all of my friends like crap. That's how you know that you're my friend.
Well,
It's because I would say something like that to you. People I don't like,
Joe,
I'm
you're
like,
a piece
oh
of
yeah,
shit."
you're great.
Yeah.
You're wonderful.
fuck you,
The
Joe.
people I like, I'm like, you're horrible. You listen to Taylor Swift. You're a piece of shit.
Yeah, you're talking terribly. You sound really weird.
You've never insulted me, Joey. What does that mean?
Yeah, what does
ass?
that mean? Piece of shit.
But,
I
yeah.
see.
So
I see. Call me the pretty one, you condescending bitch.
Yeah. I was thinking like NSYNC,
No, I think a lot of it might be they're afraid of fan backlash, because growing up in Panama City, Florida, most people that I know that are like way into sports are very much like good old boy, redneck, racist, sexist.
Yeah. And those are the guys you need to buy your t-shirt.
And they,
Your jerseys
as
and-
soon as you come out like that, you got all those people who are
not gonna buy that.
they're
Help you out.
they're just not gonna.
I mean,
they're not gonna put up with it. They're just gonna be like, they're gonna write you off for being a queer.
Yeah, you're the type of this is the fan base that was like willing to justify a pro athlete beating the shit out of a 4-year-old and just going like, well, my daddy used to whip me all the time. I don't see what the problem is. And it's like, I'm sure you weren't happy when you were getting your ass kicked. Why do you want to like continue such a thing? Like, I mean, slavery used to be cool too, but we stopped that.
When did that end?
I don't know. I keep waiting for it, but people say it's over.
Well, let me illustrate this point, which is not sports related, to bring it back around to this topic. The kind of people that I'm talking about, I used to work at a comic store, as I think I've said before. If not, I used to work at a comic store. And they changed one of the Green Lanterns when they rebooted the universe. They turned him gay.
God, yeah.
And I had a kid come in, and he was like, do you have any Green Lantern comics? I was like, yeah. So I pointed him to the older ones. I was like, I got these newer ones over here. And he stopped me from like explaining the new storyline to him. He was like, I can't read any of the new ones because my dad said he's gay and it's evil. And I was just like,
it's evil.
I was just like,
That's
okay, here. This one was drawn by Neil Adams.
I mean,
so that's just the kind of stuff that happens here, and I feel like, I mean, maybe I'm wrong because I've never really been out of the South, but I feel like the South is a giant portion of football profits. And so any player that's...
well, I think the NFL, the American pastime, like, I mean, it used to be baseball, of course, but I'd say easily nowadays the national sport is football.
Easily.
You know what I mean? So...
I think Americans take a lot of pride in the fact that it's not really played in other places.
Yeah. It's our sport, you know, and that's the American way. Like, we name a game that was primarily played with the hand, football, to take away from football, because all those other stupid countries play this weird kicking game.
You know?
Football is like well known as the manliest of sports. Like, there's
Rugby.
there's not a women's football league.
Yeah.
You know, it's
There's
the
a
epitome
lingerie
of...
bowl.
I love that league.
Yeah.
Talk about the sexualization of women.
Football is generally like, you know, the proof of manliness. And there's a big stereotype that like all gay males are effeminate and
Yeah, I'm sure there's
thought to be less manly because of their sexual orientation, which is completely ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm sure
and
there's
has nothing to do
ass
with...
load of gay guys that could beat the living shit
Oh,
out
yeah.
of me. I'm
Well,
sure
don't you know that all gay guys dress and act like David Bowie?
Bowie's on another level. Bowie's above sexuality. He's omnisexual.
Bowie is his own sexual
Planets
orientation.
wants to have sex with.
I would like to caveat that with I absolutely adore David
I
Bowie.
love Ziggy Stardust.
If you don't want to have
Oh my god,
sex
wait,
with
stop.
David Bowie...
Stop. Dakota referenced music before 2000.
And not just as David Bowie, he referenced Ziggy
No,
Stardust.
the only reason I reference that is because Macklemore had Ziggy Stardust on one of his songs.
I was giving you
And he
props.
ruined it.
I was giving you props.
I was
I
so
like
proud.
Macklemore.
I'm so proud of you.
Return of the Mac.
Once again, return of the Mac.
What?
So long, return of the Mac.
What are you talking about? I was
What?
saying Macklemore.
Just
Oh, I was thinking of
that's
the old,
the actual
my
song.
old jam. Yeah.
Yeah.
Return of the
No, he's
Mac.
talking about
Once
like,
again.
Macklemore
Yeah.
by Lewis Macklemore.
Return of the Mac.
I felt like I got 5 on it. That's not jam
Hey,
too.
careful, copyright strike.
Oh yeah. It's less than 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And they won't like appeal against creativity, which this definitely is. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
So I think that sports topic right there should appeal to our macho, sporty audience
Oh,
who just
yeah.
wants to hear about football and basketball.
Football!
I mean, we can talk about basketball all day. I'm good with that.
No.
Oh,
My
dark.
contribution to our basketball conversation, I will literally just background sing the Space Jam theme song
Yeah.
while you guys talk.
Everybody get up.
It's time to slam now.
It's like such a simple song. Like, I mean, they really like didn't try. They were like,
Come on.
we gotta write a song
Welcome
for
to
Space
the
Jam, and it was like,
Space Jam.
everybody go
Damn.
to the Space Jam.
Hey, you, what you gonna do? Hey,
Space
you,
Jam.
what you gonna do?
Guys, guess what? We're on to our last topic or category.
Aww.
The music entertainment news. So-
I've been waiting for this one.
Yeah.
I have some breaking entertainment headline.
You get it, girlfriend.
Girlfriend.
So, I mean, this kind of follows up nicely to your sports theme, but the cover of Star magazine out this
Oh.
week is
I love Star.
is questioning John Travolta and Tom Cruise 30-year secret gay romance.
Ooh.
I'd love it. Like, they'd have the most, like, pretty cloned babies ever.
It's amazing. The cover is a picture of them, walking, like, very close and both laughing, and they look, very close and personal, and, they're both famously Scientologists.
So they share religion together, which broke apart Tom Cruise's beard.
Yeah, Katie Holmes.
Mm-hmm.
But evidently, the star...
we're just gonna ride with that. It's fact.
That's true. But Star Magazine came out with this headline because of there's a documentary coming out later this month called Going Clear that is all about the Church of Scientology and how there's been recent allegations of abuse and violence towards, church members and stuff like that, and people are kind of getting on Tom Cruise's case for not, coming out against Scientology or saying anything about these abuse allegations.
Can't Scientology make you fly?
Yeah, apparently.
Like a Jesus?
Didn't a bunch of people try to shut that documentary down?
Yeah, there's been all kinds of controversy about the documentary and all kinds of nonsense.
How credible is Star Magazine?
Not very.
Okay.
But they bring
about
out
as
valid
credible
points.
as the Unoriginal Voice Podcast at UVpodcast and Facebook.com/UVpodcast.
Also on Instagram.
/UVpodcast.
But according to Star Magazine, John Travolta actually became obsessed with Tom Cruise when he saw Risky Business in theaters. He was entranced. He was entranced by his pantsless performance, and very quickly after the movie released and John Travolta saw the movie, he contacted Tom Cruise and they went on a week-long secluded Scientology retreat in Oregon where they were said to have sparked their relationship, apparently, just after they shared expensive French dinners and spent many candlelit
Didn't John
dinners
Travolta,
together.
recently, I know it's, year or so old story, but, wasn't he in, some kind of trouble with, masseuses at, hotels he was going to?
Oh,
and,
yeah, it was
asking
Cruise.
to,
That's
rub
right.
his butt and stuff like
It
that,
was,
asking him to do gay stuff.
It was
That's
Cruise.
All right.
Cruise employees were.
I think we're onto something. We need to get our investigative reporter hats on.
But
Unoriginal
apparently,
investigating.
Yeah. We'll go to his front door, get the dogs chasing us down and whatnot, but we'll get to the truth.
We really need a trademark unoriginal. So
yeah, just the word unoriginal. I own that now. That's mine.
Yeah.
John Travolta, Tom Cruise, and John Travolta's wife Kelly Preston have yet to comment on said allegations. So
I just think they're not feeding into it. I just don't think they're feeding into it.
I think their clone babies are gonna have a very strange movie career where you're I love this movie, I hate this movie, I'm not sure if I like you or if I hate you, and then you have a weird religion that I don't understand. Yeah.
And then they make Pulp Fiction, too.
Hey.
Pulp Fiction 2.
We all know how I feel about
Travolta
Pulp
and Tom
Fiction.
Cruise.
I'm not a fan of Quentin Tarantino movies. I will go on record as saying that.
Shameful.
John Cruise in Pulp Fiction 2.
Ooh.
I like it.
Tom Travolta and John Cruise.
I just imagine the
Tom Travolta.
based on their very distinct voices and the weird noises they like to make in their movies and how they talk, these sex noises would be insufferable.
Oh, maybe that's where Nicolas Cage came from.
Oh my god.
I just realized it. That's why
That
he
makes
looks
so
like
much
he's
sense.
immortal, is because he's a time traveler from the future. He's the clone baby of Tom Cruise and John Travolta.
Yes.
Get Star on the phone. Wait, what am I talking about? They're definitely listening to this, right?
Yeah.
Because they have
Star
Stitcher.
Magazine, please contact us.
They have Stitcher. They're
And
listening to this, right?
share what you know.
Stitcher.
Smart radio.
Yeah.
Stitcher.
Stitcher.
Smart radio.
Is that what it stands for?
Yep.
Stitcher.
Yeah, that's smart. It's an acronym.
Alright, cool. I love us feeding into star propaganda.
Yeah. That's good stuff.
I think we came up with a great theory.
Yeah.
Alright.
I'm pretty sure that's where Nicolas Cage came from, man.
I doubt it. You were there. We'll go with it. Alright, guys. Will the flooding of nearly annualized comic book movies ever saturate the market?
Right.
Like, is there ever going to be a point where it's just profitable, and drops, just tanks?
As long as the movies are quality, I don't think so. Superheroes are modern myth. They are Greek gods. And so if there's good stories to tell and you have good talent behind them, I don't think people are going to stop going to see them.
Yeah, I'll never stop watching.
I'm of two minds of it. I mean, one makes me want to say no, because right now the trend in Hollywood is like to create, what they call tentpole pictures, which are, huge epics. Like, they drool over Harry Potter's, and they drool over things like the Marvel Cinematic Universe just banking money. And again, to go back to Fast and the Furious, as long as the movie makes money, that's all they care about, and they're just going to make it bigger and bigger. And superhero stories, I mean, they lend themselves to that type of marketing and just big feature that makes an assload of money. So in that hand, I'd say no. Then on the other hand, comics are known for going through huge spikes of popularity, and then them just like feeding it, and it just all falls down. I mean,
what might happen if it's anything like the comic business is you're going to have the big two going at it, which,
Iron Man and Guardians of the Galaxy, it seems like right now, because DC's not really playing in the movies.
Yeah, but DC's like, they're building up, and that's an entirely other topic, whether that's going to be good or not. But you'll have the big two, and they'll be going at it, and the business will be fine. They'll be competing, they'll be making money. But as soon as you have like people coming in with like, hey, you remember my superhero comic that was popular in the 90s and is no longer? Those are coming out.
Spawn the movie.
Those are that's in the works.
What?
That might be the sign of the end times.
Those are going to be the movies that flop and might burn people out in superhero movies. But they said superhero movies were dead after Watchmen, because Watchmen flopped, which I actually really like. Watchmen. And I'm gonna go on record saying that I like the movie Watchmen a lot. But people keep saying that it's dead. People keep getting proved wrong. So I don't really see, at least in the next 10 years, I don't think it's going to be saturated. Maybe after it's been popular for 2 decades, it'll fizzle out. But
based on what I've learned in my economics class, there is a saturation point for these movies.
There definitely is.
If a comic movie, every 2 months or 3 months, there's a new comic movie coming out, or at least will be in the next 2 years, because we've all seen Marvel's and DC's godforsaken long list of announced movies. Yeah. It's pretty intimidating.
Like, I got time to wait 10 years to see Cyborg.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, because I'm going to care by that point.
I don't have the time.
Not only that, but plus all the other movies that you might want to see, like all the blockbusters like that. Is there actually, are people willing to shell out money they're going to take from somewhere else into the movie market? So...
Well, I think so, because I've heard a few things that the movie industry is actually better than it's ever been, because everything is so shitty elsewhere that more people are going to the movies to escape. Now, the digital age is kind of where we have a technology that might not be the same thing, because people are pirating and waiting for things to come out to where they can just sit at their house. But still, the movies themselves are getting viewed, no matter how people are watching them. They are getting viewed, and people are enjoying them. So.
Yeah, they made a smart move by improving 3D features. You know what I mean? Like from the when it was just like a trend to do 3D in like the 80s, early 90s, and it was just like the garbage red and blues, and then figuring out a way to create like an all-encompassing kind of 3D in movies and really perfecting like the shooting of that, because that leaves you inclined to go spend $10 to go to the theater to get a unique experience out of the movie. Go to IMAX and sit on it, and it's practically like a Universal ride at this point. And then if you get like those D-box seat things, it literally is a ride in the theater, for better or for worse on that. Like, my back still hurts from Dark Knight Rises opening night. But
for real. I got whiplash from that.
Or you guys standing in the front? Standing in the front?
No, we got D-box seats.
Yeah, the D-box.
Which, like, has motion that goes with the movie. Like, if there's a car wreck in the movie, your seat will kind of like swing to the side a little bit.
Like in the airplane scene while it's going, you feel like you're on an airplane. It's like gently rocking, and then when it like flips and all that, like the chair goes off every time a bullet.
I feel like that would be so distracting.
It is.
It's insane.
I've never done it. I don't have the urge to do it.
They have it at the Grand. Like,
do they?
Yeah, it's like $15 for the seat, but
I don't care.
well, and it reserves your spot, which is why I did it
like this
initially
big
because I
lush,
didn't
like
even know
red
what it
recliner
was.
type seat. It's a nice seat. But
I didn't even know what it was.
Where are the D-Box seats at?
They're in a regular theater, which I thought
they're
was
in
a
like the
step
middle
too.
of the theater.
But when you go to get them, it shows you like what chair you want to buy, and that's why I was like, Dark Knight Rises. I definitely want a good seat, so I reserved 2 seats, like exactly in that spot in the theater. But man, that chair.
I would hate to be right next to the D-Box seats because the entire movie you're just
It's like rocking.
Are they like reserved there, or like can someone just like pop in and sit in them?
No,
they're
when you
reserved.
buy those tickets, you get the reserve.
Like, what if
spot.
someone's sitting in them?
You
when
get an
in
usher
there?
and they
Yeah, like
Yeah.
you literally get printed
Yeah,
like
Shay.
you're 13D in the theater. That's your seat.
yeah.
And I don't think it activates unless somebody's purchased the ticket for it. Like they don't turn that chair on.
I'm about to go. Hey, let's go do some of these guys. I've never done this before.
I mean, it is crazy. It's cool, but I felt like I'd rather pay the $15 for the chair to be in the IMAX. But apparently the companies don't jive well together, so it'll never happen unless they work out a deal. But like, if you went to see a 3D IMAX movie with that chair, it really is like a Universal Studios ride when you see the movie.
So, if like you're in a car chase like that and it like jerks to the right, you're gonna slam.
Yeah, like
stuff.
it's
It's not like
back and
heavy
forth.
movement. It's very.
But it can move in every direction.
You guys know what movie this would work perfectly with?
Fast and Furious.
Oh yeah. Oh god, yeah. I'd pay $30 if they could do
Somebody hit the NOS
Yes.
button and
Yes,
your
it
seat just
will.
flies
Oh
backwards.
yeah.
So if you guys can't tell by now, Joey is fully convinced that Fast and the Furious is the greatest film saga of all time.
The legend and the journey
Of
of
Brian.
Dominic Toretto.
Brian
It's all about DT, dude.
All about Dominic
It's all about DT.
Demarius Thomas.
Yeah,
He's a
Sure.
he's a football player.
Oh.
I can tell by the name.
You racist.
No, it had nothing to do with that. It's just, it
Sure.
sounds like a football player.
Those
name.
movies are all about Ludacris.
Ludacris goes in on the first contender.
The guy who goes from like a guy with an afro with a pick in it to like bank vault specialist
Yeah.
within like 2 movies, and the only explanation is just like, I had a life before this. And then they touch on nothing else. Like,
Character development.
yes. In 1 sentence, they covered it.
It's anterograde character development, not retrograde.
Yeah.
You learn about them as they go.
Yeah.
They don't touch on the past.
Yeah.
Cool.
Good stuff.
Yeah. You want to go?
Oh, entertainment news, just real quick. Did you guys see the Ryan Reynolds official
Yes.
Deadpool
Saw that.
costume?
Yes.
Oh.
I loved it.
It
Such a
is-
perfect way to put that out.
I dare to say that this is the best on-screen from comic book adaptation of a costume I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And
I'm
he's
so
he's on the
jazzed
bearskin
for it.
rug with the candles.
It's amazing.
It's beautiful. If you haven't seen it yet, go look at it.
I think I retweeted it on
You did.
at UVpodcast
Oh, okay.
just today.
Excellent.
You
Put it on
retweeted it, or
Facebook.
the podcast, the UV podcast retweeted it?
The podcast.
Yeah.
Because we're not supposed to like know who retweets and stuff.
Yeah, I don't use
We're
my
not
Twitter anymore though. I only use the at UV podcast. So if you want to get
Yeah, I've
that to
noticed
me,
you liking all the cat stuff.
Catnito, dude.
Canino is amazing.
Canito is
Yeah, you-
fantastic.
You followed him and
My
unfollowed them.
main thing is like, how did they make that helmet? 1 and 2.
Photoshop.
How did they put it on a cat?
No, I believe to put the helmet on the cat.
Yeah, that was an actual helmet.
I want to believe it.
But how did they get a cat to stay still long enough with a helmet on its head to get the picture? Someone's
Bribery.
got a shitload of tiny little cuts on them. I know that. At this point.
So, do you think that since this has had such an instant positive reaction, do you think that movies are now going to be feeling out the comic book visuals a little more after this, or?
I'd like to say yes. And I think like DC is actually doing kind of well on like the stuff they've shown.
Yeah, they've
Like
been
that they're
trying
trying
to
to do their
Batman.
thing and just add that like kind of Nolan dark edge to the movies. And Marvel doesn't do too bad a job of like, I mean, there's a twist to it, but I mean, like, you know, Thor still got all of his little circles on his suit. Iron Man looks like Iron Man because they changed his look so
they took
much.
away Hawkeye, but that's probably the doofiest
Yeah.
superhero
It
costume.
really is.
Isn't he like pink and purple?
Well, I mean, it's not even the color scheme. It's like that.
Just like the big feathered mask.
Yeah, like
so
Well, the main thing I would like to see,
fabulous.
and I'd like to see the X-Men have more of their suits.
Yeah.
Everything's like black
Yeah.
leather and
yeah. I mean, I dug like in First Class when they tried to do like the old school yellow and black from the Silver Age X-Men. That was a cool nod. But yeah, but I also see the point too. They even made the joke within the series of like, you know, Wolverine like, you know, what do you want, yellow and blue spandex?
Yeah.
Like that big ass lucha mask on his face.
But
wouldn't
see,
work
to me,
like live action,
the
like-
answer is instantly yes to that question. And the end credit scene of the Wolverine when he gets the briefcase and he opens it up and the mask is there, I freaked out.
Which one is this?
The Wolverine.
Which one's that? Is that the bad one or is that the good one?
It's a good one.
That's a good
There's the
one.
one in Japan, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like Origins Wolverine and then there's
Yeah.
the Wolverine.
They retconned the Origins one, right?
Yeah.
Well, they retconned all of it.
Yeah, everything's
in a way.
retconned.
It's very X-Men what Fox is doing with the
Yeah.
franchise. Like, I don't think they're doing it intentionally, but it's very, very X-Men what they do. Like, we're gonna do this. Nah, we're not doing that. He's dead. Nah, he's not anymore.
Time
It
traveling.
turns out that this guy's here and this one's here, and like, you know, Bobby's 10, he's 20. What? It doesn't matter. Xavier's alive. He's not. It's okay. It's alright.
X-Men,
He
time
can walk.
travel,
He can't.
alternate dimensions.
Yeah. So, what was I going to say? I don't remember.
Well, that's always good when you're podcasting.
Yeah, it really sucks.
Welcome to this segment called Bail Dakota Out.
Yeah,
Oh, that's right. You were talking about visual effects. Do you think you can go too far with visual effects, though? Because I'm thinking of another, Ryan Reynolds superhero movie where they went hardcore visual effects.
Oh, Green Lantern.
Green Lantern.
I mean, I'm a way bigger DC fan than I am Marvel, and
Yes,
even I
big
like
disappointment.
shudder at that movie.
So,
Whew.
Well, okay. Well, I said visual like aesthetics, meaning like from the comic books.
okay.
That movie had no comic book vibe to it.
Yeah, I
The
don't
Green
know.
Lantern has never looked like
I don't know where
spandex
they
with
got their
Christmas lights
idea
on it.
of Green
Yeah.
Lantern. That was ridiculous.
And I wanted to love it. I did, and it's mind bending that it wasn't good because Jeff Johns was one of the key writers of the
Yeah.
movie, and he did one of the strongest Green Lantern runs ever. I would argue.
I will give them Kilowog was awesome.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
Kilowog
loved
was
Kilowog.
awesome.
I always love Kilowog. I mean,
He's great.
Losers.
stand in line, poozer. You know what I'm saying?
Kilowog's the big pig looking guy.
Okay, thank you.
He's a badass. He's the
Yeah.
drill sergeant,
Didn't
you know?
Michael Clark Duncan voice him?
I can't remember. I want to say yes.
I think he did.
Michael Clark Duncan.
Rest in peace.
Yeah.
Is he
dead?
R.I.P.
Oh, he
Yeah,
is. What am I
he
talking
did.
about? I was thinking
He
another
did.
guy. Yeah.
Yeah, Michael Clark Duncan was
Yeah, he's pretty
the
cool.
man.
Ricky Bobby's buddy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby.
Is it true? Like he was discovered as a hobo, right?
Yes.
By Oprah.
What?
No,
Yeah.
he used to be homeless in Chicago, and I think Oprah discovered him.
That's amazing. I
He
didn't
did
know that.
he did like Shakespeare in the Park and stuff like that, and just kind of made his way into acting from being homeless.
The Green
in
That's
Chicago.
Mile.
awesome. Oh,
Rips
Yeah.
your heart out.
Oh my
God, yeah. God, yeah, that's
So very
great. And that one kind of blew my mind that it was Stephen King.
Yeah.
Like that and Hearts in Atlantis were movies I would never assume he made. And I should have known because it has that weird, like that Stephen King trademark of
Yeah.
just like very strange endings and like plot twists that
Mm-hmm.
you're like, wait, so we went from a story that's like in suburbia with Anthony Hopkins and he's a telepathic alien at the end of it.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere. You're an it.
I've
You're
never seen
terrified
it.
of this clown.
It's a
Turns
giant
out it's a
spider.
giant alien spider in the sewer. And you're like, what the? Wait, how'd you get this? I don't know.
Yeah, you should have put spoilers before that.
Spoilers. Retro spoilers.
Antero.
Yeah.
Back.
If you
Alright.
don't know the ending of it, it's your own problem.
Oh, yeah, I thought you were talking about Green Mile.
Yeah, I didn't say the ending
I
of
was
Green
like,
Mile. I mean,
okay, I
he
was
does
about
have
to
a
say, why
weird
the hell is there
power.
Anthony Hopkins and
No, I was
So I was
talking about
like-
Hearts in Atlantis.
Okay.
It was one of my favorite.
Well, if you don't know the ending of Green Mile either, then that's also your fault.
It really is. It's a great movie. So on my topic,
Bring us home.
unless anybody else had something
No, you're good.
on entertainment, we went all the way around.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's your entertainment
Okay.
topic. Bring us home.
I find sex entertaining.
Okay.
So that's my entertainment section.
Interesting.
This has been episode 3 of the UV.
Yeah, we're done here.
This has been the first and last.
And I can't believe this hasn't been mentioned up to this point, but Kate will be going to a toy party. So we'll
What?
Yeah, a toy
I was
party.
going to save that as a surprise
Yeah,
for the
well,
what
we gotta
did
give
we
them
do
something to
this
look
week.
forward to.
I
What?
was invited to an adult toy party.
Which she didn't specify when she said it was a toy party. I was like, action figures? So that shows where my mental progression is. So
I'm going as research and fodder for the pod. I
Yeah.
wouldn't normally.
because in all my 27 years, I've never gotten like a really like in-depth story of what happens at those kinds of things. Like what happens at them.
Yeah.
Like I want to
Better
know.
not.
I
It's
wanna
gonna be
know
like
every
a
step.
weird Eyes Wide Shut.
Yeah, you go there and you take your like mask.
God, I hope so.
Yeah. So we'll get into that next week, and it'll be pretty interesting, I predict, hopefully. But it leads into my sex topic of entertainment here. 2 things, actually. One, are you intimidated by your spouse, girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever, having and using a sex toy?
In the words of Justin
I wish
Lashley,
like people could have seen like this slow movement of the mic Dakota just did.
Lean
in the
in.
words of Justin last week, this is a trap.
It's a drop.
Yes, Admiral Akbar. That's all right?
Yeah,
Okay, just
I'm
making sure.
It's a drop. Yeah.
Just making sure. And no, I do not find that intimidating.
Okay.
Not at all, actually. If you know what I mean.
Oh yeah.
She's listening.
Oh yeah. She's got Stitcher.
No.
Oh no Stitcher.
I,
Okay,
as the only single person at this table,
then.
I don't find it intimidating. I'm just not that into it. I like it to be more naturalist.
Right.
Boom. Once you get some nipple clamps and nice little clitoral, like.
But then
injection.
again, I have not been laid enough in my life for normal sex to be boring yet.
Yeah.
So I haven't hit that wall.
Maybe that wall comes pretty quick.
That is like a strange concept to me. Like who was sitting down and they were like, I really like sex, but how do we make it better? Like I was always of the mind like
I'm gonna clamp
sex
this
is
battery to my dick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure they have that.
No,
I'm sure.
The internet's real. It's out there. I know it. I know it is.
Yeah.
Kate, I'm really interested
Yeah,
in the
this
married
is like-
couple
Really
perspective.
quick,
Yeah.
would you consider handcuffs a sex toy?
Yeah.
I guess.
You
yeah.
would consider them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
I guess anything that's used as an aid to sex is
Or
a
a
sex
sex
toy.
prop.
Yeah.
Not so much a toy, but a prop.
It's
Yeah.
like a flogger
Like
and
a-
some like hot coals.
Flogger.
I saw 50 Shades of Grey.
Yeah.
And by
So you got all
saw,
that stuff.
if I saw, I mean I scrubbed to the sex scenes and I
Yeah.
watched them.
In my day, that was called fast forwarding and rewinding. Now it's scrubbing.
You know.
Do you ever
It's not
purposely
what
find videos of scrambled porn just to feel young again?
Is that a boob? No, it's her eyes. That's her eyes. Hold on. I gotta wait a little bit. It's weird to jerk off to somebody's eyes. I'm waiting for a boob to pop up here.
I hate the porn that's like not super, or like not even the porn, the sex videos or sex parts in movies.
Or porn.
No, the sex parts.
Oh, the sex parts of movies.
Yeah,
Okay.
like where it's hard to scrub exactly to where you want to go, and you like fast forward too much. It's like, oh crap, I'm in the middle of it.
A
And you go
integral
before-
story of what's going on here.
Yeah, you got to start like a few seconds before it, but you got to find that 2 seconds because
Right.
then you like go back too far and you're waiting for it. It's like, god damn it, got to fast forward again. You're like, oh crap,
Like
at
I'm
the end
losing
of it.
wood here while this is like getting back to the scene. Jesus.
Oh wow.
So anyway, Joey and Kate.
Yeah.
Go
what's
with
Sex
that?
toys.
Give us your female perspective, Kate. Do
What
you
was the
find
question? Was there a question you just
I
said?
got the question,
find...
Joey.
No, I said, are you intimidated by
Oh,
your spouse,
oh.
girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever?
Are you intimidated by
having and
Joey
using
using a sex
Oh
toy?
yeah, your dildo is very intimidating.
Yeah, it's huge. It's gigantic.
His ball bearings.
No, I do not own sex toys. I mean,
No, what
unless you
about
count
Joey?
handcuffs.
Yeah, it's
and
about
Joey does
whoever
not,
you're with, yeah.
as far as I
Except
know.
for his giant dildo.
As far as
Yeah.
I know.
What about
The,
edible condoms?
I only thought of this particular question. I don't know if you remember in
Edible
Fight Club.
condoms, doesn't that like what? How
I don't
would
know
that
how
even
they
work?
They taste good. Is
Wouldn't
what I
it
guess.
just, I mean, there's the flavored ones.
In Fight Club, Marla Singer tells Tyler
first
Durden
rule.
when he hits the dresser and makes her little dildo shake back and forth. She was like, it's not a threat to you.
Yeah.
And so I just kind of wondered if anybody was like threatened by someone having a sex toy and it potentially replacing you in some way.
No.
I'm not afraid of that. I was just wondering if maybe I could trap one of you. So
Because it is on record earlier that Joey is fantastic.
yes, phenomenal. I think is the word. Phenomenal. Remember that when you're listening to Stitcher. It's phenomenal.
All right.
So the second part is, what do you think of the logistics of male sex toys, i.e., pocket pussies, fleshlights, real dolls, and disembodied vaginas and butts?
I think they're weird.
It's very weird.
Very frightening. I would be. I would have second thoughts about someone if I
was a guy,
it's just
if I was a guy. As a guy, I don't understand what's wrong with the hand.
Yeah, I feel like it's just as good and it's less creepy.
Yeah, that's the
creepy.
main thing to me is I'm not outright against them. I get the idea and it does seem like it's something I would want to try, but I know that after you complete, if we can try to be clean here for once,
Finish.
Yeah, there's that moment of clarity when everything snaps together of what the hell did I just do?
Yeah.
And you're looking at it, you're like, I just sat here, I used this weird rubber thing as an aid, and now I have to go to the sink and clean out my own seed. And then with the disembodied pieces, I imagine someone walking in and thinking of the third person perspective of you hunched over the corner of your bed with just this hip that you're looking into the dumbfounded look, deer in headlights you get if someone walks in, or just even if nobody walks in and that embarrassment, just the fly on the wall perspective of someone just sitting there going to town on the side of the bed on one of these things. It seems very serial killer-y.
Yeah.
To just have a disembodied part.
I mean, people are into what they're into. I don't necessarily get it, but
right.
Some
I don't think it's necessarily weird because a fleshlight is no worse than a dildo. It's just weirder because it's a guy's sex toy and dildos are more.
It's really. I mean, I have no interest in using such devices myself, but it's really only weird because of the social context we put on it.
Right.
Socially, it's weird.
But I just feel like it's going to be so awkward. I feel like
Yeah.
it'd be so awkward. And then just the shame as you're cleaning it out, because sometimes I even feel weird, watching porno or something, and then it ends, and I'm like, what was I watching? Why did I do this? Why do I
What
do
have I
this?
done?
Isn't it a weird thing to think about? Just some folds on someone's body, is one of your driving instinctual forces,
I usually just
You have that moment where you bring your hand up and the dramatic music starts playing. You look back at the laptop screen. No. Look back at your hand. No.
What have I done?
What? Starts raining in your room.
What have I done?
Alright.
Well.
Alright, so time to pimp our social networks and stuff and close up.
Yeah, final topic. We haven't done that all episode long. We can't do this to them.
Wait, what do you mean? We've never mentioned that we're on Twitter at UVpodcast.
No, we can't.
At theunoriginalvoice.com. I am at Blame It On Butler.
We can't do this to people. We can't tell them that we're on Facebook.com/UVpodcast. We can't tell them to go to theunoriginalvoice.com again. We can't tell them to go to Stitcher and look for our episode.
Can we
Or
tell
to
them to follow our
email us.
Instagram, which is at UVpodcast as well?
Yeah, or we just can't have them go to our email at theunoriginalvoice@gmail.com and send us stuff. We can't have that.
But
Unless
I
they
feel like
want
what if they need to know? What if they need to know to send us suggestions?
Just
questions?
know that if you don't follow us on social
Punishments.
media, we will send you to the prison where you will be forced to gladiator fight.
Oh,
So
Maximus.
And don't forget that we are starting next week. We are starting punishments for the loser of Fox News versus the Onion. So give us some fun, non-maiming, non-sexual punishments.
What's the runtime right now?
A long time.
Yeah, it's a long time.
Yeah,
All right. Well, next week I'm going to try to do Super Fight as well in this because I really want to play Super Fight with you guys.
That could be one of the topics.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, we'd also like to thank Revolution, I Love You for...
it's their great song, Atlantic Ocean, which I totally got the name wrong in our last episode and called it Atlantic City. I don't know why, because I've listened to the song 1,000 times, as well as all their other songs, which you can find on Bandcamp. If you're really cool, you listen to Revolution, I Love You.
Or SoundCloud.
Oh, yeah, they're on SoundCloud.
Remember, you can follow me at Dakota Jski at Dakota Jski on Twitter.
That's JSKI.
Yes, Dakota DAKOTA JSKI.
I'm Joey _Napalm.
I'm Kate. Doesn't have a Twitter.
Yeah.
I am at Blame It on Butler, and if you are in the Panama City area, and you can get to Mosey's downtown, I might be doing stand-up every Monday for their open mic, so come check it out, support local comedy.
I can't wait to see that. I can't wait to see that again.
I'm excited.
Yeah, that was really cool. That was really cool.
Alright, so, Joe, you work tomorrow?
No. Yes. Crap. In the morning.
Yeah. Alright. We're gone. We're out.
Folks who like their feet dry.